All righty then. It is time for the best of the 80s, son. The absolute best of the 1980s. This show is going to be the tits. I'm telling you right now. I've got friends with me. I've got friends hopping on later tonight. We're talking the 1980s in general. Action, comedy, horror, drama, you name it. I want to cover it. And we're going to be taking your calls later tonight. I'm just so excited. I blew my candle out. But let's start bringing in some of my colleagues tonight for tonight's 80s extravaganza. First, all the way from sunny Florida. He's mean. He's green. Tabata Vision is in the house tonight.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Representing Nakatomi Plaza. You got to remember.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Hey.
That's right.
Brandon.
What's going on?
Dude, are you ready to rock the 80s?
I'm absolutely ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for it, man.
And we're not talking just horror. I mean, we're covering everything tonight.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
How often do we get to do this? We don't do this too
Not
often.
often. Not often.
And I'm ready. I've got my Teen Wolf Cup. My fucking teen. How do you get more ready for an 80s show than a Teen Wolf Cup and a Back to the Future 2 hat?
Teen Wolf Cup, Back to the Future 2 hat. I'll raise you one still shrink wrapped overboard VHS tape.
Overboard VHS. Stop the fucking show now. God damn it.
There we go.
All right. Well, hey, man, it's good to have you here. We're going to be talking, obviously, 80s. We're going to get into it, but we've got another person in the green room right now.
All right.
Now, this man embodies the decade of the 1980s, head to toe. You know him as... What do we know him as? The one, the only prodigal son, New York's own, Born to Be Red is in the house tonight. Hey! He's got a Teen Wolf shirt on.
What is up? Dude, listen.
You got Teen Wolf.
How did you score that cup already? It just came out freaking Wednesday.
My wife ordered them, and then I got it today in the mail.
What? Dude, yes. Teen Wolf is like one of my all-time favorites, man. I am so glad I'm on here talking all 80s, and I finally get to hang out with Mr. Brandon over there. About
What's going on, man?
time.
I know. It's a long time in the making, man. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, I got Brandon on Brandon's on a contract. He's only able to show up on my channel. So he doesn't, if he does show up on somebody else's channel, I've got to get paid.
We'll get some royalties going on that.
Right.
But Gary, I remember when I had Brandon on my channel, you said, I know that guy, Brandon. It's a great channel. Tell me about the first time you heard about Tabata.
I think it was his Black Roses cover that he did, I think is what turned me onto the channel, I believe, because being a huge fan of Black Roses, I think I was looking up some of the songs and stuff, and I saw like one that said like remastered version, and I was like, let me check this out, and I loved it. And then I started kind of scrolling through his stuff and saw that he was doing like a lot of cover songs, and I was digging it big time. And then I saw he started doing more like, small like little reviews where he just kind of, speak his mind for like 2 minutes on topics that I kind of always wanted to talk about, but like, he just kind of spits it out there in a couple minutes and is like, hey, you know what, this was on my brain today, and it made a little cool video out of it. And what was cool is I could like binge his stuff, man, like, on my drive from and to and from work and get through about like 10 videos. So that's how it kind of drew me onto him. It was just doing something different, and I really, really dug it.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
What's funny about that, Garrett, is the Black Roses remaster was Christian's suggestion. So it's kind of a weird full circle thing going on in here right now.
That is weird.
I don't know how much more 80s I could be tonight. I've got my hat on. I mean, this is obviously an 80s style shirt. I got this at Walmart today. It's a Dream Master style. And I've got on jorts.
Nice.
Above the knee.
That's killer, dude.
So I'm fucking 80. I'm 80s tonight, which is no different than usual.
You know what? I got Zubas on.
Zubas?
Yeah, dude. Zuba pants.
Oh my God. You got to get some corded headphones though, Garrett. You're too futuristic.
I know. I agree.
God damn, got his AirPods in. You know? So guys, like I said, we're gonna start talking of just I don't know where to start. I really don't know, to be honest with you. I just want to let it rip, get going, see what the chat thinks. I don't know what genre we should start with. And we're gonna be taking calls later on in the show. We'll get other guests to I think other people might stop in. We have a very high profile gentleman that might be stopping in sometime later tonight. But I mean, where do we start, guys? Like chat, where do we start? I don't even know where to start with this. We're talking about the 80s. I'm thinking action is a great place to start for this. But I don't know. What do you guys say? What's on your mind? What is something when you thought about this show tonight, you're like, I'm excited to talk about this. Is there anything action oriented that you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to talk about this one? What do you guys got? Let's get it rolling. Somebody, let it rip.
When I think about the 80s, again, I think I don't know as far as Brandon, but I think we all kind of grew up in different years, so to me, 80s is important because that was like my childhood. So, a lot of big movies that came out in the 80s was stuff that I was just glued to the screen. Teen Wolf being one, Back to the Future being another, and Ghostbusters probably and Karate Kid being the big four for me. So I mean, I'm good with anything, man. I mean, I don't know if you want to get some of the big wigs out of the way, if you want to just jump to a genre, and then we can just kind of spit off that.
Let me. You said something. You experienced it. You experienced the 80s. Let me ask you something because I'm 30, so I was born in '92. I never got to live even a shred of the 80s. Let me ask you this. Are we sensationalizing it now? And the people that never experienced it, are we making it more than it really was? Or was it really all that and a bag of chips?
Again, I was young in the 80s, so I was not like a teenager where I could really experience, what we see in the movies. But as far as the movies themselves, and again, it could be a nostalgia kick for me because I was just at the right age at the right time. But when you look at just what's going on now with movies and TV shows, and everybody's going back to the 80s and the well of like remakes and reboots and reimaginings and requels and all that stuff, it tells you something. And I think a lot of these movies were special. And I think because it was almost like there was no rules back then. Like, dude, we had movies about freaking BMX bikes. We had movies about karate tournaments. We had movies about rollerblading. It didn't matter what it was. They made it cool. Like for the longest period of time, I thought arm wrestling was like a professional sport that I could watch based on Stallone's Over the Top. I mean, I didn't know because I was so young. So like any little thing that came out, I thought like this was some like real legit stuff. Like thought I was going to go to a bar and see these dudes having arm wrestling tournaments. It just didn't happen. So there was something special about the 80s. And I think it was just, they didn't care. Like it was like, it is what it is. We'll make Mac and Me. Like you're never going to see stuff like that now. Like nobody has the balls to just say, screw it. I don't care what someone thinks. Let's just do something different. Like, and I think it was special, and music as well. I think that's the same thing. Like music back then, no matter what genre you grab, it was just, there was some gold there. And I just feel like we can't really grasp that same feel now. And the 90s had it, I think, as well. But that's just my opinion. I don't know what you guys think.
I think, man, I don't know. I think it had to have been that fucking good. And I'll tell you why. Because you talk about, like, the coolest thing about a movie like Over the Top, we're talking about a movie about arm wrestling. That alone is amazing. Mm-hmm. It's a canon film. They had the guts to do it. They paid Stallone to make this weird-ass movie. But not only that, the soundtrack is equal. Like, when you look back then, these huge artists were putting all these songs in movies, and it wasn't even just like horror like it was back then. Like, it's just like, dude, when I think of Over the Top, it's like, where do I go mentally? I think about Kenny Loggins with Meet Me Halfway. What an amazing song. Mm-hmm. I think of fucking Sammy Hagar, Winner Takes It All. My favorite song he ever sang. He was already in Van Halen, but contractually, he had to do some songs. He had to do an album for Geffen after he joined Van Halen, which was my favorite solo record he did. I never got to say goodbye. That's neither here or there. But, I mean, dude, I feel like that connective tissue of amazing songs to put in movies and good movies like that nowadays, like it's disjointed now. I don't hear banging rock shit in movies anymore. Mm-hmm. Why is it dead art form now?
Well, number one, rock music is pretty much dead in 2022, in my opinion. I think it's gone, sadly. I mean, there's underground stuff you can find, but I mean, nothing mainstream. And imagine coming to the table in 2022 being like, hey, we're going to do a movie about an arm wrestling tournament, and then we're going to have Van Halen on the soundtrack. Like, you just, like, it doesn't, it's never going to happen, right? So, like you said, there was balls there, and it was cool that everybody was willing to collaborate, you know, on that kind of stuff. They gave people chances. Like, you know, I'm sure Van Halen was doing A-OK. They didn't need to be on a soundtrack for Over the Top.
For everybody asking about call-ins, we're going to do that a little later on, so hang tight. But how about this? We've already mentioned some great movies I want to get to. Brandon, I want you to lead us off. The best of the 80s. Name a movie that is a desert island movie from the 1980s, a DNA film, the best from the decade. The best. Just start us off at the best of the best.
I'll say one of the best, and it's probably going to make some people laugh, and that's Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Oh my
85.
God.
No doubt.
I can't even explain why that movie's so good, but that movie is, when I think of 80s movies, it's like it's Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop, Lethal Weapon, and you know, Pee-wee Herman's Big Adventure. It's just it's too fucking good. That movie is too good.
I hear you. I love Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
What's weird about that movie too is there's so much scary content in that movie that's not really intentionally scary, but when it's scary, it's scary. Like Large Marge, I think, is intentionally scary, and that scared the hell out of me as a kid. But even the stuff like the dinosaur nightmares, it's a weird Tim Burton movie, man. It's the weirdest movie on the planet. Yeah, fantastic.
And I always forget that's Tim Burton.
Yeah.
I never think about that.
It's so weird to think that was his first big movie. Everybody really thinks it's Batman, but no, it's Pee-wee Herman, man.
Yeah.
So
you're right. I mean, Pee-wee's Big Adventure is I mean, man, you look at it and you break it down, you're like, it's almost kind of a masterpiece because it's so off the wall, but it just works so well. And it stands the test of time. I watched it not too long ago and I'm like, man, this is still so good. And you're right, there are scenes of like the clowns and, you know, rolling him down the thing, kind of creepy. I mean, there's a lot there. I mean, even like when his bike gets stolen, he looks up at the clown and it's got like the angry face all of a sudden and it's like laughing or whatever.
There's a nightmare feel in that movie, man. A lot of it. It's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah. All right.
But that's a good pick, man.
Good pick. Good. How about this? Let's just start going back and forth movies. All right, I'm gonna tell you potentially the best movie of the decade. Potentially. There's an argument for this one. It's in my top 10 films of all time. I mean, I'm talking gun to my head, top 5 films. This is top 5 for me, at least. 1987's motherfucking RoboCop has got to be one of the absolute best. Paul Verhoeven, I believe, is the director. This, I mean, Garrett's a smart man. He had his ready. I've got my Criterion laser disc right here. I don't know how you really get any better than RoboCop. It's got heart, it's got soul, it's got humor. And I'm talking good humor.
Yep.
You know, like all the shit at that OCP building.
It's got hardcore excessive violence, hardcore fucking 80s violence,
legitimate
man.
Violence.
Yes.
Legitimate violence. Peter Weller, you know, what's Red's name? His actual name, I forget. Kurtwood Smith.
Right.
Bitches leave. That's one of my favorite parts when those hoes he's doing cocaine off the hose in his house, and then he blows the whole place up. I mean, it shows like the evilness of it's like commenting on corporate America, where you've got the second in command guy when the young dude talks to Colonel Cochran and he's like, "Hey man, let's do my thing," and then Cochran's like, "Maybe what we need is a fresh perspective," and so he kills him. He gets him killed. He gets the worst criminal in the world, the most organized criminal, to kill him. But Kurtwood Smith steals that movie. Do you remember the scene where they're in the van and we get introduced to his gang and he opens up that briefcase? You idiot, you burnt the fucking money. It's as good as marked. Yep. And then he takes that one guy. Can you fly, Bobby? That movie, literally every scene. There's something memorable from RoboCop with every single scene. To me, when I think of the 1980s, I think that embodies what the excess was, the humor, No Limits. RoboCop is the greatest of all time. To me, that's potentially the best ever. And Mid-Level. Have a good show, fellas. Better show some respect to the best Rocky movie of the 80s. Mother effing Rocky 3, baby. $5 super chat. Thank you, Mid-Level. I really appreciate that. Come back and watch this tomorrow. Thank you very much. But guys, I mean, obviously you're RoboCop fans.
Oh man, definitely. Anything Peter Weller, I'm a big fan of. I don't know if you guys knew that from just watching the channel. I talk about him all the time, but you're right. And the thing with RoboCop too is RoboCop as well is, I remember being a kid and RoboCop was kind of, it had a cartoon. He was on commercials and it kind of came off like, hey, it's okay that I watched this movie. And then all of a sudden when you see it and you're seeing all the violence and stuff and the effects were great as well, it really was something that you just never forget because it had that weird, like it geared towards kids, but it was so rated R, so violent. And, like you said, there's just got some great one-liners. Like one that I always remember is when that dude's at the gas station and he's like, oh, what are you, a college kid, huh? You a bookworm? He's like, think you're pretty smart. Can you outsmart a bullet?
Can you outsmart a bullet? Huh? Can you outsmart a bullet?
And he points the gun to his face. And I'm like, what the hell? It was kind of such a funny line. You think I'm smart, huh? Can you outsmart
and
a
that's,
bullet?
dude, that scene, it's like when they blow up the gas station and RoboCop's just cruising, walking as it's blowing up. He doesn't give a shit about it blowing up. Visually, like on the Arrow release of that, I'm sure on the 4K it's even better, but on that Blu-ray, the 4K scan Blu-ray, dude, why does fire look so good in high definition? Have you noticed that? Like fire explosions look so good on film, and that scene is fucking amazing. God, man. I don't know. Every scene of RoboCop is perfection. Every character is perfect. I like the sequel too, RoboCop 2, although that's 1990, so we can't really talk about that too much, but I don't know. RoboCop has to be one of the best ever. Sydney got the RoboCop cup as well, and she says, which one do you want? And I was like, I want RoboCop. And she goes, well, you can have Teen Wolf because you're not getting RoboCop. So I got the Teen Wolf one. But actually, this Teen Wolf cup's really fucking cool. So...
Yeah. Yep.
Garrett, take us to another classic. I'm talking, go up. Let's start out strong. Then we can get deeper into movies like Jack's Back and shit. But take us to the top.
All right. I mean, top for me is all time is going to be Back to the Future. I mean, no doubt, no question. Again, masterpiece, man. Like you can never replicate this. There's no way that they're going to ever replicate this. And remake, not, but man, been a fan of that movie. Michael J. Fox to me, and I know Christian, you and I have talked about this, is that he was like everything to me in the 80s. Like he was the man, he was, because Teen Wolf and Back to the Future I saw like relatively around the same time. So to me, I'm like, this dude's everything. And to think what could have been with him, because he was just in so many big movies at that time. You're kind of like, man, would he be kind of what DiCaprio is looked at like now if he wouldn't have got sick or anything like that? But man, big Michael J. Fox fan. And to be honest, I've always dreamed that someday we will get this freaking Stoltz cut, or I don't care how they do it. We've seen clips, but like, man, imagine seeing this movie lined up with everything they had from Stoltz from when they started.
Yeah, just to see it in context.
Yeah, like it would just be so cool to see like the difference and to watch this movie. It'll feel like for the first time. And I know they've got quite a bit of footage. I just don't know, how easy it is to splice or how they go about doing that. But they've mentioned that they were going to try to release that at some point. But
I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to say Eric Stoltz is a great actor. He is one of my favorites. He was awesome in movies like Anaconda, The Fly 2. There's other things I've seen him in. He didn't have the right temperament of quirkiness that they were looking for. Eric was great, but he was like, he does kind of lean a little bit more towards the scientific, charming, goofy guy, where Michael was just fucking cool. And that's what they needed. I mean, and they got it. So much so that they like, man, people remember he was filming Family Ties while doing Back to the Future. Yep. And Gary Goldberg was like, no, you can't do it. And then they bugged him again. Spielberg was like, we need the damn kid to do this movie. So thankfully, on the second run, they let him do it. But Back to the Future gave me my love for Huey Lewis and the News. My top 5 bands of all time. I'm a diehard Huey Lewis and the News fan because of that movie. I don't know. I mean, Brandon, you got to be a big Back to the Future fanatic, and we could talk about part 2 as well because that was 89.
I know part 3 is technically 90, but I'm going to go on record saying Back to the Future, the trilogy, is my favorite trilogy of all time.
Amen.
Out of everything, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, anything, Back to the Future is my hands down my number 1 favorite trilogy. It's fantastic.
Let me ask you this though. Just fuck it. We'll just break the rules a little bit. When I watched Back to the Future 3 as a young kid, I did not like it.
Really?
But as I got older, I'm like, you know what? This one is so fucking charming. Like,
it might
works.
be my favorite. It might be
really,
my favorite.
I love it. And Garrett showed me, I didn't know this existed. The original poster for Back to the Future 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Western looking poster. It's not the futuristic one, like their uniform looking. The original poster, legitimate. It never got released, but like the original poster is a Western. I'll pull it up. You look like you may not have seen it before. Do you want me to show you?
I'm not.
Yeah. Try check out like Back to the Future 3 variant, maybe Bottleneck Gallery. Try that because they released it. Drew Struzan, who's the guy who did the artwork, he released it a couple of years ago in like a limited run. Like he's like, I'm gonna finally put it out, and if anybody wants to buy it, I bought one.
It's gorgeous
because it was different. Now I don't remember. Was she in the part 3 poster as well on the final one, or was it just Doc and Marty?
No, and the original one, and in the actual one that was used, yes.
Yeah.
Because I have that in my game room, but the one you have, the classic one,
it's like a train instead of a car, and I think that might be the only difference. And it's light; it's not like the bluish and the dark. It's that one.
Look at that.
Oh, maybe she's not on it. Maybe that's what Sorry, my bad. She's not on it. That's the difference.
She's on the released one. Look at that, Brandon.
Yeah, that's almost superior to the one that
I think it is. It fits the film.
It fits the theme too of their friendship better too, because she's a major character in the film, but like it really is a Doc and Marty film.
It really is. But I like her in that. But yeah, there we go. So Back to the Future, perfect movie. Crispin Glover. I mean, son of a bitch. Garrett, I know you usually have a lot of cool stuff for movies. Garrett, do you have the Crispin Glover novel that he put out? Not the book. Yeah. Is it any chance in arm's reach?
It's like around the corner. I can go get it.
I gotta see this thing. Do you know what I'm talking about, Brandon?
No, what is it like? Is it him complaining about what happened and stuff?
Okay, so do you remember at the end of Back to the Future when Marty's dead, when his book, he's like, I told you, son, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. And he hands him the book. Garrett somehow always is able to find cool shit like that, props from movies, and he has the book where it's got like the spaceman that when Marty dressed up like he had like that whatever kind of suit that biohazard suit in the beginning. He has a book of that. It's so cool.
That's awesome.
He's got it. God, he's got all the cool shit. He's got the Rob Zombie Halloween Dr. Loomis books.
Oh, nice. Are they just covers? Or are they actual like books?
They're just covers. This is a book, but it's not the real book.
That's cool though, man. That's awesome.
Look at that. George McFly. Oh my God.
That's too good.
You remember? He goes, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
Yeah. George McFly, it says on it. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
I can't.
I got what else I got? I grabbed some other stuff. Can I have a Pepsi free? If you want a Pepsi, pal, you're gonna pay for it.
God damn. So that was a legitimate. Was that like Diet Pepsi before they just called it Diet Pepsi?
Yeah, and then I have.
Why they change the name? Oh my God, that's from part 2, right?
Yeah, Pepsi Perfect.
All I want is a Pepsi.
You guys remember this? I actually got these. I saw Back to the Future 2 in Florida when I was visiting my grandmother as a kid. And before we went, we were so excited, and we went to Pizza Hut and got these bad boys, the solar shades. Remember these?
Holy crap, that's awesome.
Remember those things? So we got those, and we got this.
What?
This was like that little Pizza Hut bag that they used in part 2 where they
what do they call it? Hydrated pizza.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You sure do know how to hydrate a pizza. God, look at Garrett has the coolest shit.
Gnarly.
Garrett will be like, "Hey Christian, I really like your Friday the 13th bust. I'll trade him for all the shit he's got. He's got all kinds of cool shit.
I get a lot of Back to the Future stuff, actually. That's like probably one of the most.
He's got his hoverboard in the back over there. You see his hoverboard, Brandon?
Yeah.
I got the hoverboard and then Marty's skateboard from part 1.
I got my baby Freddy. That's what I got going on my.
Yeah, that's
Brandon.
awesome though, man. Baby Freddy's great. Yeah, big Back to the Future guy.
Goddamn, Johnny! Thank you, Johnny. $30 super chat. How is CHH a fan of the '80s? In Rocky 3, he rooted for Thunder Lips and Clubber Lang. In Rocky 4, he rooted for Ivan Drago. First off, John, good to see you, John. Hope everything's good on your end. Love you. Thank you for the super chat. First of all, I'm about to be. You know what? Can I just take this in another direction from this point on? We all agree that Back to the Future is great. Garrett's not going to agree with me. Brandon might. I don't know. Garrett's going to vehemently disagree with me.
Uh-oh, what we got?
Clubber Lang would have fucking rocked Ivan Drago. I'm just saying.
I mean,
Clubber Lang is a bad motherfucker.
He was scary, man. He was intimidating. Mr. T was so intimidating as a kid. Even when Mr. T was like a good guy on like the A-Team, he was scary, man. Like just the way he's talked and stuff. Like as a kid, I was like, this guy is. If you would have asked me at 7 years old, I would have said he was like the toughest dude that ever lived. You know, he was scary.
Hey, woman, why don't you come be a real man? I mean, dude.
Yeah,
Brandon. What would you do if Clubber Lang came up to you and your old lady and he looks at her and says, "Hey woman, why don't you come be with a real man?" You ain't doing shit. You're gonna say, "All right, go, you're backing the fuck up, aren't you?"
I'm already gone. I'm already gone.
And I do agree that Rocky 3 is potentially the best one, like Ken said. I love Rocky 3. But you gotta say, and people are disagreeing. People are saying Drago would have crushed him, maybe. But dude, Mr. T was like that. He had that street sensibility.
Yeah.
He was a brute mother. He was like the who was that guy that he passed away? He was like all on YouTube with those street fights.
Yeah.
Kimbo Slice.
He was like the Kimbo Slice of the '80s, man. I don't know.
It's a dream match, man. You know, it really is. And I think that I kind of felt that way in the Karate Kid franchise with like people like Johnny. And I was like, oh man, imagine him and Mike Barnes going at it, or imagine Chosen and Terry Silver going at it. Well, you know, we might see this shit now, which is crazy to see because it was something I always wanted. But, you know, that would be so killer if when they were doing those Rocky movies. I know everybody's older now, but how killer would have been if they did something where like they at least got in each other's face and they had some kind of throwback or whatever. Yeah, mama, like no other.
People are saying that people do not agree with me. Nobody thinks Clubber would take Drago. All I'm saying is this: dead manager or not, Clubber creamed Rocky the first time he fought him, and Rocky was beat by Rocky beat Drago on their first go around. And Clubber destroyed Rocky the first time. Clubber's the baddest in the world. He claimed he was the baddest in the world. But I don't know. I don't want to get on too much of a rant. But do you guys want to comment on some of the Rocky sequels that were in the 80s? 3 and I think it's just 3 and 4. But I mean, I'm
gonna have to agree with Nick in the chat. Lost River Drive and Rocky 4 above all else.
Nick said Rocky 4. The thing Rocky 4 is the best motivator, 100%. Soundtrack is amazing, but in terms of gripping drama,
yeah, it's like 90% montage. I get it. It's just there's something about Rocky 4, the cheesiness of it.
And I'm not hating on that, but I think maybe Garrett will agree. The pinnacle of the series is Apollo. There is no tomorrow. Like that's real shit. That speech he gave, to me, that's the top of the top. You know, I don't know.
You know what? They're both pretty on par with each other because, you know, as a kid seeing them for the first time, I mean, you're getting Mr. T, you're getting Hulk Hogan, like all in that movie. Like that was a big deal back then. And it was one of those things that I just feel like it was just so over the top. But I think it's fun, but I think if I was to pick one now, I always pick Rocky 4. Always.
You son of a bitch!
I always do. But you know what? I
Damn
don't know
it.
if you guys did you guys see the new one, the retelling or whatever? I
heard
didn't like it
terrible
as
I
much.
didn't like it. I didn't like it.
I've heard
Yeah, I
nothing-
didn't like it as much. I think a lot of it, and you know, I don't know. I feel like some of it was done intentionally. Like poor Brigitte Nielsen was like had like zero part, and I'm like, did he do this on purpose? Because she had such a big role in part 4 that she's like barely in this. She just has like 2 lines. She's kind of like a side. The other one, she was like the the one that was kind of bossing Drago around, and the new one, she's got like nothing going on. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a very strange take on it.
Real quick, thank you, Johnny. He sent me $10. Clubber let anger lead him. Let anger lead him. That's always a recipe for failure. Rocky beat him. Apollo and Drago would have killed him. Well, Johnny, I will gladly accept your money, but disagree until the cows come home. But God bless you. I love you. But Garrett,
Yo,
are you ready?
what for the next one? Is it mine?
We have another. Somebody's coming in.
Let's do it.
Making their debut
Oh,
on Planet CHH. For the first, maybe the last time. We're gonna have to see how this goes. We're flying by the seat of our pants. But welcome a Rad Pack member.
oh, baby.
Yeah! She's there.
Oh shit, this way.
All right, Mel,
What's
welcome.
up?
We can't handle it. What is up, Mel?
Hey, how's it going? CHH, thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, thanks for absolutely. I told you next time I did a cool show, I'd bring you on. So when I saw you in the chat, I was like, she's trying to tag in. So we got you here.
I literally was just like, hey, what's up? And then I
Yep.
was like, oh, okay.
Yep. Uh-oh, Ben Grimm. See, Brandon, what's our fact? Me and Brandon got to have a faction. We're going to be the Invisibles. You want to be the Invisibles, Brandon? Does that work for us?
Name
Nobody-
pending. Yeah, that works.
Nobody, no, see, we could be
Give
the
it-
Invisibles.
Name pending.
Give him, yeah, just maybe give him a day to think about it. He could probably come up with something good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mel, now that you're here, lead us off. We're just talking 80s period. It gives me a chance to not talk about horror for once. You can talk about horror if you want, but just take me away. What's one of the best? I'm talking the best. Desert Island, can't live without it.
I know
Desert
she's gonna say.
Island
Come on.
movies, like the best ones ever.
From the
Can't live
80s.
without kind of thing.
I do reserve the right to disagree and yell at you, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, now
Take
I'm
it
on
away.
the spot. I don't know what all you guys have talked about.
Just pick
Back
a
to the
what's
Future,
your favorite?
RoboCop. Already talked about RoboCop, but it doesn't matter. Just let it rip. Give me one that's just. I'm talking like gun to your head. Best movie from the 80s.
The Burbs.
Yeah, I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there. I knew it.
God.
Listen,
I love the
I'm
Burn.
on that island with her, man. I'm on an
Joe
island with her.
Dante.
Yes.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
that pre-drug addict Corey Feldman, or had he been dipping in a little bit of?
I think he
Uh,
was dipping. I think that might have been like,
All right, Mel.
yeah.
Yeah, because that was '89, so he had to have been getting to a little bit of something. By
Yeah,
Yeah,
then.
that's
I
me.
actually read some of the behind the scenes stuff about like the making of the movie, and his line delivery was so terrible he had to do like 30 cuts of a scene just to
Bullshit.
get it right. and stuff.
And the old
Bullshit.
guy who plays the old dude with the American flag. What is that guy's name? The actor Bob Dern. Bruce
Dern.
Bruce Dern.
I
Yeah,
heard
Bruce.
he hated Feldman on set in that movie. I heard that
Yeah,
they didn't get along at all.
I think there
Oh,
were
wow.
moments too where Tom Hanks was like getting at the end of his ropes with
well,
him
let me-
trying to deliver his line.
Let me ask you a question, because I know the answer, and I'm just gonna put you on the spot. Just gonna put you right on the spot. Is The Burbs a horror film?
It's like a dark comedy, I would say.
Garrett, would you any feedback?
I'll say this. It's in my horror section of my library here.
You're wrong.
It's
Actually,
in
no.
there. I think it has like sadistic neighbors. I don't care what the the rest of the movie is. It's to me that's horror. Coming from the suburbs, that's horror all day.
You know what I think it is? Like, I'm just being facetious, but like seriously, I think it's one of those movies that the horror fans like adopt as one of their own. You know, they got those weird
Right.
movies that
Oh, yeah.
kind of blend and they do this or that. I feel like that's one that the horror fans like because Fright Rags started doing shirts of it and stuff. It's like they adopted that movie. Like we claim it as one of our own, so to speak. But that,
Totally agree.
that's when Tom Hanks did good shit.
Did.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you feel me on that?
Absolutely.
You feel me? Like
Like the Money Pit.
the money. Oh my God, the Money Pit is. I love the Money Pit.
That's an amazing movie. I love that one.
We need 80s Tom Hanks movies back again. Like he needs
We
to
do.
just do like some good shit instead of doing like that movie where he's getting kidnapped on a boat or some shit. Like what the
Joe
hell is
versus
going
the
on?
Volcano was a good one too.
Joe versus
Yes.
a volcano. What the hell is that?
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. That's old. That's old school right there. That's old school.
What the
camp.
hell is Joe versus the volcano?
He's
Is this the
Joe.
80s?
Yeah, exactly.
What are
That's
you
what-
talking about?
Brain
Right,
cloud
it was the
orange,
80s.
man.
That's
Just like
why
the
the 80s
first
are so
5 minutes
rad,
of that
right?
movie.
Yeah, it's like how can you have a movie saying Joe versus Volcano? I mean, that's 80s right there. Same thing with Splash. Like, what are you gonna go up to somebody? Hey, we're gonna have this movie about a mermaid, and like nobody's gonna really like let that fly. You know?
Splash is amazing.
Oh yeah.
All right, The Burbs is a great one.
Yeah.
Let's go back to not Born to Be Red. We're gonna go back to Tabata Vision TV.
Uh-oh.
Dude, all right. Come on. Who's got the damn train in the background? That's Mel, isn't it?
What are you on the tracks or something?
What the hell is going on over there?
The sound effects are a real
What
thing.
the fuck is this?
Should we?
So last time on the show, right?
Oh my god.
What the fuck is this? Brandon,
Yes.
let's go, dude.
Oh, okay. I'm actually going to take it down. Not a movie, but these are a couple of family-friendly specials that I just need to bring up. The first one is going to be, and Garrett has this sitting behind him, actually, is the 1986 live-action My Pet Monster.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great VHS, man. That's hard to get.
Dude, it is the weirdest fucking
Fucking
hour
weird,
special movie I've ever seen in my life. And also this kid's cartoon from the 80s, Mad Ball's Gross Jokes. Do you guys remember
Oh,
this?
dude, I loved that as a kid. It's like an
That looks
animated one, right?
familiar.
Yeah, it is the weirdest special, and it's like pristine quality too, man. I got this off eBay for like $3. It is like a
$3.
brand new VHS tape. It's fucking.
No,
Dude.
wait.
And guess what? That's
they
gonna
have
sit on your
more?
shelf. You ain't gonna play it, Brandon. It's gonna sit there, and then
It
in
is.
6 months,
I'm-
you're gonna return it or put it on eBay.
I'm never gonna play this
Am
tape.
I right?
You are correct. Although it's gonna sit on the shelf, it's not gonna be resold. Thank you very much.
All right, whatever. Good choice.
But as far as movies go, I'm gonna bring up Overboard again, just because I have to.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yay.
Great one.
Goldie, yeah. So
Good
Goldie Hawn.
choice. All right, I'm just gonna get this kicked off real quick, and I'm gonna rub it in Born to Be Red's face.
Oh, I know you're going with this.
The one of the best series of all time.
Help me out here, chat, will you?
Mel's with me on this.
Whoa.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The greatest physical media set ever to be created. We're talking about Rambo. We're talking about the Rambo set. The who's who of physical media collectors has the Lionsgate Rambo set with the greatest film of all time, Brandon, without question, of all time, the legendary First Blood. Also, Stallone's greatest movie. And I'm not gonna, you can try me, convince me otherwise. It's not Rocky. That's just what boring people say. The answer is Rambo. But seriously, I mean, when it comes to action, I mean, guys, what are we talking about here? It's Rambo. We're talking about First Blood. Now, Garrett, I'm sorry you don't have this. I'm still trying. I actually am trying to reach out to people for you to get this set because, I mean, no offense, but I mean, you're not red if you don't have it.
No, I don't think that takes some red.
You need to make a new shirt
doubt,
called
you know?
"Trying to Be Red."
No,
That's
yeah.
what you need.
Bad.
I'm born to
Oh,
be
no.
red. You're trying to be red.
That is
Radbo
a really nice
over there.
set, though.
Yeah, I saw that when it came out, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I'll get it in a couple weeks. And then that couple weeks came, and I went back, and it was like gone. I was like, what the hell? Like I had it, and I put it back, and it just serves me right.
All right, so tell me, guys, what your opinion is on the best Rambo film. I got to know.
I'm gonna have to say First Blood.
God bless.
No
Same.
doubt.
Same.
Same.
Now hold on. Here he comes. Here he comes. Look at him. He's getting ready to say Rambo fucking 3.
He's gonna say 2.
I have a couple of sentences here. Okay, so
Okay.
first, I grew up thinking Rambo 3 was my favorite one.
I love
I
Rambo
rewatched
3.
the series because 1, 2, and 3 came out in the 80s. I watched the series again a couple of years ago with Shanna. She hadn't seen the film. After watching them again, the original trilogy, I have to say Rambo 2 is my favorite of the 3.
Explain yourself, because like honestly,
I don't know what it is. I think part 2 is just a richer film. I like the setting. I think the action's better. The violence is heightened. He's more developed as a badass action hero. And yeah, I don't know what it is. Part 2 is just better, man.
is it
Part
the
2
Frank Stallone song at the end?
I think it's partly Stallone's hair itself. It's just better than it was in
What?
part 1.
True.
His hair.
When it's
His
part
hair.
1
And
is
his
just-
body. He was way more jacked up in 2. He
Part
was
2, yeah.
ripped.
But
Yeah.
dude, part 1 is like this is the thing, Brandon. I keep wanting to yell at Garrett, but I need to yell at Brandon. And Mel agrees with me on this. The thing is, after me and Mel had a long discussion about this. Once the First Blood ended, it's time to move on from Vietnam. It's time to move on. That's why I think I prefer 3 at this point over 2. What are we doing in
3
Vietnam
is really
still?
good.
3 is great. We moved on. It's a new story. He's got longer hair. His hair is better in 3 than 2.
He's the most jacked, I think, in 3 than any other movie in the series, I think.
And this is something that Garrett's a big fan of, when he fucking gets shot in the side and then he like blasts fire in his stomach to stop the bleeding when he gets the bullet out of. You remember that? What do you call that? When he cauterized himself?
Yeah.
He
I
fucking
forget- I don't really-
cauterizes him. He fucking puts like gunpowder in his side, and all of a sudden he freaking just lights it on fire. And that's how he stopped himself from bleeding out. Does he do that in 2? Brandon?
No.
I'm not going to win this argument, am I?
You're not gonna win this argument.
Yeah.
But listen, after watching 3 recently, though, it does kind of drag a little bit here and there, if I'm being honest. Part 3, and part 3 was my favorite.
Yeah,
So,
I like part 2. I get you though. There's things about 3 that is, to me, is better than 2, and there's things about 2 that's better than 3. But again, I just want to reiterate that the who's who of physical media collectors has the Rambo Lionsgate collection, and I just feel really bad for anybody. I know Mel's got it.
She's always shining it up.
Of course.
Do you have it though, for real? Do you have
No.
it, Mel?
I don't.
What? Oh, no, it's cool.
We you know what though? Again, it was one of those things growing up. Rambo, to me, like when I first heard about Rambo, it was dedicated or marketed to kids. So I didn't see First Blood until later. Like it was the Nintendo game. That was the first time I ever saw it. And they had I had the toys, and I had like a machine gun with like the Rambo logo on the side. So First Blood always passed me by because I always just was looking for the word Rambo.
Mhm.
So I didn't see First Blood until later on. But yeah, on part 4, yeah.
If this wasn't an 80s, if this was not just 80s, I will say I think that Rambo 4 has no business being as good as it is.
No.
I
Agree.
actually think that's the second best one. I think I ranked them and I put Rambo 4 at number 2.
Dude, Rambo 4 is exceedingly fucking violent.
It's
That movie is
fucking-
hardcore, man.
Dude.
Hard.
Yeah,
It's
great.
almost like uncomfortably intense in some certain shots, man. Like when the kid's getting stepped on and like they're stabbing him, like this is
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Before we continue, we have somebody else hopping on.
Ooh,
oh.
He got a webcam and he's going to test it out tonight. The second half of the You Need a Horror podcast.
oh boy. Oh
Nick
boy.
is here.
There he is.
What's he doing over there?
I don't know. He's sitting there like a
Sick.
Nick.
You're half frozen.
Can you?
I think it must be an old webcam, like from like
Jesus
the
Christ. No, it's
From the
not.
80s.
I hear him.
looks like
Oh,
Sega.
Christian,
It's
I'm
like
doing
something
it.
Sega CD over there.
You're buffering.
We got to get you the
Yeah, I am
webcam app.
buffering,
I'll show you
I
how to. I'll show you how to fix all that, Nick. You got to get calibrated and
Okay.
all that crap.
Yeah,
We can
I
hear
did
ya.
a test run on StreamYard. I did a test run on StreamYard just like fucking around, and everything looked good. And I was like, all right, yeah, I think I got it. I don't think I need to do anything else. And then I'm sitting back here looking in the green room or whatever the hell you call it. And I'm like, I think I'm buffering, and I'm like, this is not good. But in my defense, Christian pressured me, guys. It wasn't all my.
Kind of looks cool. It's like claymation or something.
Just tell everybody you have a strobe light going. You're fine.
I love it.
Yeah. What were we using before, Nick? Your phone?
I was using my phone. I was using my phone and then laptop for the audio.
Try
I'm using
this,
my
Nick.
phone right now.
Do me a favor, Nick. Go to your settings.
Yeah.
Go to your camera and bring your resolution all the way down. It's just going to zoom your image in, but it should.
It's gonna look like.
No. Look what I'm using. I'm on 360p right now.
Are you
Just
really?
try it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have lighting and stuff that way because I'm always on. You understand what I'm saying? Like me and Mel. Look, like Mel's got her lights. Like we're on 24/7. So
I'm using the phone, man. Still on the phone game.
phone game.
Phone game.
Is it any better?
Well,
any better?
you're smoother now. Yeah, you're getting smoother.
Yeah, it's better.
You're getting smoother, Nick. Now, Nick
Yeah.
actually, he said, Christian, I need in on this 80s show because there's this franchise I
didn't
love,
know. No.
and I've got to talk about some of these sequels of this
I'm
great
down.
franchise. So,
Oh,
Nick, take it away.
What?
I don't.
What?
Take it away.
I'm not talking about Halloween. Fuck no.
Ah, look at Garrett. He's
Trying to
got
give me
it.
no.
Halloween
Yeah, baby.
2,
Yeah, baby.
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about Halloween
Do
2.
you want me to talk about it?
I know Mel is a vehement
God.
Halloween hater, which is the reason she's on this show tonight. So, I mean,
I'm a Halloween hater.
you hate the franchise, you hate the fans. I get it. I totally get it.
Oh no, I
here we
can't
go.
be saying that.
No, there'll be a debate all night long between the both of you. We'll just have to sit back and watch.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not like a super fan or anything of the series.
You hate the series, like I get
Yeah,
it.
me neither.
I mean, I prefer Nightmare on Elm Street, I guess.
How about this? Me and Nick will tag. Dude, kills rules, man. I don't care what
does.
anybody says. I like it.
It does.
I'll say it.
It
I'll
does.
say it.
Yeah. No, Brandon agrees, right? Right, Brandon? You
2018.
agree?
2018 sucks. Kills kicks fucking ass. That's what I'll say about it.
I agree. I'm excited for ends. I want to see how
Yeah.
this thing goes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deny it.
Yeah.
All right, Mel. Halloween 2. Tell me what's wrong with this stupid ass movie. Because I mean,
What?
Yeah.
the problem is Garrett needs to get
Christian is trying to start a war in this
I
video.
know, right? I'm like, I need to jump over to my
Come on,
YouTube
Mel.
channel
Mel,
and
you're
check
in
my
you're in
subs.
the you're in the Thunderdome right now. I don't play games on Planet
I'm
CHH
serious.
Live.
Halloween 2 should still exist. Put it that way.
I don't know. It's fine. It's been a long
Yeah,
time
baby.
since I watched it though. So I
You
don't
got
really
these
have
goddamn
anything-
tapes like trading cards. What the hell is going on up there? Mel, they're pulling out fucking tapes left and right. What's going on up there?
First edition, baby.
He's first edition.
I love it.
I got that one too.
I don't have any tapes.
Good,
I'm
Mel.
so
Don't buy them.
unprepared.
You know that-
stupid- Don't buy them tapes.
No. I'm not going to let that slide, Christian. Y'all, Garrett and Brandon, I hope you guys know this. Someone brought this to my attention. You know how much that MCA Universal VHS goes for nowadays?
This
That's
one?
a pretty penny, man. Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, I had it.
It
I
has
got an
to be
old
actual
boss.
box, right? It can't be cut up like this in the
I don't
package,
know,
right?
but I have no idea. I just had an old boss that I saw it at his house years ago. I'm like, dude, can I have that? He's like, sure. And
That's awesome.
never had any idea that that's a rare one. Yeah. Christian doesn't have it because he's a fake Halloween fan. But I mean,
I am.
It's okay.
I am. I'm not a Halloween fan. I've moved on to bigger and better things. I'm done with the franchise.
oh yeah. The past like 3 episodes of the podcast, guys, Christian has dedicated sections talking about how Halloween Ends is going to be the greatest Halloween movie. You know, he's moved on.
I moved on to bigger. I'm not watching it. Me and Brandon made a pact. We're done
That's
with
true.
Halloween. What are we
That's
gonna
true.
do? What are we gonna do the night Halloween ends comes up, Brandon? We're gonna watch Pee-wee's Big Playhouse Adventure.
That's right.
Big playoff.
Conversations I'm missing somewhere?
Me and Brandon are gonna go to the theater, to an adult theater, to watch Pee-wee's Big. You guys see him? You guys see where I'm going with
Oh
this?
no!
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Ruben's gonna be there. He's
Oh,
gonna be in the house.
we're gonna sit right next to each other.
Black curtain only.
Wow.
Oh, all right, but look, for real, Nick, we're talking best of the '80s, all genres. Throw your hat in the ring. What is one of the best from the decade? There's still some I've got some movies over here that I've got lined up. Give me one. Just talk about one of the best, any genre.
I mean, I mentioned this on the podcast a few weeks ago, I think, and this is like cliche, I get it, but it's The Breakfast Club for me. That movie
Yes.
was like,
Hey,
everything.
hey!
Yeah, that movie was everything to me. Like, because no matter what kind of teenager you were and like who you associated with, you could find yourself in any one of the group. Like, you could find yourself and relate to someone in that group. And like, I don't know, it's crazy to think that like, what, 40 years later, high school really hasn't changed that much. Like, we still have all these cliques and shit. So I don't know. That movie's just timeless. I really think it is. Like, I think that kids will always be like that.
I always relate to the teacher because I hate kids. Anybody else?
He was pretty hilarious in that movie.
That was great.
The Breakfast Club is the best comfort movie of all time.
Disagree.
Name something better.
I will. As a matter of fact, Halloween 2.
Shut up.
It is.
No, honestly, I just got. I didn't know.
You
Criterion
gave
had
him a
put out-
springboard to be a smartass.
You gave
I
it
know.
away. No, I got that Criterion from Breakfast Club. I didn't know that came out on Breakfast Club until a while back. Somebody
Yeah, I
posted a
just
picture of
watched
it.
that this year.
Yeah,
That's
I love that movie. Is that what's that director's name again?
Hughes. I'm about to jump on that train in a
Yeah.
second.
John Hughes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
nothing. What are you talking about?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
his only good. That's his only good film.
you
We talking
can-
about jump on
Oh,
a train.
boy.
No,
Oh,
yo,
boy.
shut the
What are you
fuck
talking
up.
about?
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
I'm gonna bring in.
Baiting. This is bait.
I want to go into his a little more Anthony Michael Hall. We went from Halloween Kills to Breakfast Club, and now we're gonna go right to Weird Science, which
Weird-
I think is
yeah.
another classic. That is, I think it's kind of underrated for a Hughes film, to be
You're
honest.
pissing off
It
little
really is.
Sam.
It really is.
God Almighty.
Wait, that's a plush?
Yeah,
Oh, you sent me a picture. I thought it was one of those damn lamps or whatever.
it's a Sammy.
Oh, I would get that. I didn't see that on mine. Damn it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Oh my goodness.
I don't forget about Jonesy back there. Can you see my ghoulie?
Oh, I see him. I see.
That's Jonesy. Here's the problem with Weird Science. All right.
No,
The
no
movie
No.
movie is just
No.
politically incorrect. All right.
problem.
It doesn't work in
No problem.
2022. So we gotta
that is true.
I mean,
Does
Mel,
not.
you feel take it away, Mel.
what do you want me to say about?
Just tell me what you were saying to me the other day about the film. I mean, just let people know how you feel about it.
Oh, like a couple of horny young teenagers making a woman come to life. So that they can,
Ridiculous. Like, we're
googly eye her?
objectifying.
I don't know. Is
we're
that what you're
obj-
talking about?
Yeah,
Tell
we're
me.
like it's like you were telling me we're objectifying everything. This has to stop. John Hughes should be put in prison for quite frankly.
Except
You know
he's
what they
dead.
need to do? They
Oh,
need to remake it and then make it woke.
Except
you
he's
know?
dead.
Oh boy.
So the truth though is, what is that woman's name in the movie?
What, in the movie or in real life?
In real life, the
Kelly
actress.
LeBron. Kelly
Have
LeBron.
any of you guys seen the Gene Wilder movie, The Woman in Red?
Oh yeah. Mhm.
That's my favorite movie with Kelly LeBrock ever. She is smoking in that movie. And the whole movie, talk about politically incorrect. The whole movie is about Gene Wilder trying to have an affair. He sees this woman and he says, "I've got to get me some of that." And he literally tracks this. He chases the woman down and tries to bang her, and then jumps out of the window of her apartment at the end. That's the movie.
Spoiler.
Yikes. Yeah.
Mel, look,
I mean, you have a really
Why have
eloquent
you not
way
se-
of
you're
simplifying.
gonna-
I need to
Wait
see
up.
that.
you're gonna tell me my killer podcast has not seen The Woman in Red?
I have not.
What?
I
And
know.
you're in the Rat Pack?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I buy all these movies. when I
Garrett,
watch
you don't
them.
vet these people.
We haven't got down to Women in Red at that point yet. We're still out between me, her, and Justin. That's going to be a weird science. I think is going to be next.
Brandon, you've seen
We're
the
gonna-
Women in Red.
We're gonna all wear the outfits.
Not for a long, long.
I don't understand what's going. This is going off the rails fast.
This
This
is
is not.
not politically incorrect. 16 Candles is worse than Weird Science, technically speaking, right?
Oh, that's not even off. That's not even. That's on the do not discuss list that I sent you guys before we started the show.
I was gonna
We're going rogue.
I was gonna mention it, but damn. All right. I'm not talking about it.
It's no, we're not, because I'll get flagged for that movie.
Yeah, man. Hughes was knocking him out of the park, though.
He was.
at that
He really
time,
was.
to a point where other people were just trying to mimic that formula, and there was some cool ones that came out around that time. I don't know if anybody wants to get into them. I know I just went, but I don't know if it's going to get brought up again. But like 3 O'Clock High was one that they tried to compete with Hughes for, and I feel like it feels just like a Hughes movie, and it's such a freaking great movie if you guys haven't checked it out.
Well,
It's so weird that the bully in that movie is the bad guy from Kindergarten.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah,
I love it.
Film Positive says screw political correctness.
I agree.
Well, welcome to Planet CHH, brother.
Agree.
All right, let me move us in another direction here. So this is DNA Films for me. The greatest comedy, one of the greatest comedies of all time. I love this man so much. I named my dog after him. Chevy Chase's first, not Christmas. We'll talk about Christmas, but the first Vacation, rated
Vacation,
R
yeah.
comedy.
Mm.
That is a dead art form today. They don't exist.
They don't exist. You're right.
Literally don't exist.
No.
I mean, god damn, that's Chevy Chase. At Clark Griswold has to be one of the greatest characters ever. Like, seriously. The fact that he wants to get to Wally World so bad, the broad dies in the back of the station wagon. He ties her up, puts a rag on top of her, and drops her off at the cousin's house who's not there.
The dog and all that shit. Yeah.
I love that. God, I love that movie. So I make Sydney's favorite Chevy Chase film is Funny Farm. Have you guys seen Funny Farm?
Oh yeah.
Funny Farm is so good, so good. But Vacation's my favorite. I watch Vacation probably once every month and some change.
Wow.
Every time. I mean, that's a comfort film to me. You know, every scene when he goes, what does he go to get? He drops off his old station wagon and he's going to pick up some
family.
What's that? What do you remember the name of it was?
The one that he wants?
The sports wagon, right?
Yeah, the family Sportster or whatever it's called. Yeah.
And who's that comedian that he was famous to me for being in American Pie, the dad? What was that comedian's name?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
The dad. Yeah. The glasses. dark hair.
Gene. Is it Gene something?
Gene something, I think. For sure.
Yeah. But he goes up,
Yeah.
and then they smash his piece of shit that he trades in. Davenport, where's the sports wagon? I don't know, sir.
Eugene Levy.
Yeah, Eugene Levy. And then the guy just walks off, and then he takes home the I don't know, man. I would pay money to own a
Sportster. That thing's sick.
The Wagon Queen family trucks.
Oh, the truckster. That's what it is. The truckster. Yeah. That thing's sweet. The green one. Yeah.
You remember when
I
he
love
gets home and he gets something? She goes, "I thought you were getting the sports thing." No, this one's much better gas mileage. What's that noise? It's just new. Don't worry about it. Oh shit. And then the making of on that movie is great too. And then Christy Brinkley, I don't know what she's doing. She still looks phenomenal. And she married Billy Joel for a while too. But I don't know, guys. I just had to talk about Vacation. That's Bill Murray seems to be the guy for most people for the decade, but I'm a Chevy Chase guy. Are you guys the same? Are y'all Bill Murray guys or are you Chevy Chase guys? Because
Chase.
Nick's a Chase guy. You're a John Candy guy.
I would say for me, it's probably John Candy for me. Probably like he's got what's his name? I'm saying Venkman. Jesus. But I mean, he's to me like Ghostbusters was like the big one for him. Like I know he did Stripes and stuff like that, but those aren't as important to me as like a lot of the chase stuff or Candy for that matter.
Yeah. Mel, what are you? Are you a
I
Chevy
like
Chase
both
guy?
of them.
But you got to pick.
But do I gotta?
Like who?
I
Like,
get excited when I see both of them in movies.
I do too. I just the reason I like Chevy is like I don't feel like he ever his characters in the movie. I'm gonna be a film critic for a second. The thing I love about Chevy Chase, and Tarantino actually talked about this. Chase's characters in his movies never waver from being the dickhead that he is. But like with Bill Murray, like he's a dickhead too, but he basically changes his ways. And I think the average person is a piece of shit. And we don't change. We're always going to be pieces of shit. So like in Groundhog Day, he's an asshole, right? But what happens at the end of the Groundhog Day? He's not an asshole. Chevy is a prick the entire movie and never like Fletch. He is a son of a bitch the whole movie, but you eventually like him because he is one. He does. That's what I like about Chevy. That's what it is to me about Chevy. His characters never waver. But then again, Groundhog Day is pretty damn good. But that's 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It seems like the chat's saying they like. Actually, I see a lot of people saying they like Chevy over Murray. I don't know.
I like them both. I think I'm just more familiar with Murray's work than I am Chevy Chase's work. Although, because I just saw Nothing But Trouble for the first time this year.
Tell me about it. Tell me your thoughts on it.
I'm actually really sad because I wish that would have been one that I saw when I was younger because I feel like the nostalgia would have been there. But I still really liked it. I thought it was
bizarre.
Hilarious.
I mean,
Yeah,
Dan Aykroyd is
bizarre.
that judge. I mean, what the fuck is that thing?
The two babies is what got me. Like once they came in, I was like, what is happening here? But then in the end, I was like, I still loved it.
And they're blacksmiths. They're fat blacksmith babies that live
outside.
They live in the junkyard.
They're twins and they have giant diapers.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Brandon, Garrett, let's start shaking it up a little bit. Then we'll start taking some calls from the chat.
Come on.
What else y'all got? What do you want? We could do some horror too.
You want to do some two 80s classics?
Please, man, give me something good.
All right. 2 80s classics right here. You know it.
Mac and Me and Moonwalker.
Wow.
Yeah, we got some classics right here.
Now you're talking.
Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Honestly, like people that like E.T. are just boring, bland people. Mac and Me fans are like debonair.
Bro.
You know what I mean?
That deleted scene is something else to be freaking.
He got shot.
Are you talking about the end?
Are you talking? I'm talking. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
the deleted scene of Mac and Me. Didn't I send that to you or no? Did I don't know. Mel, I might have.
They shoot the kid in the wheelchair.
Yeah,
The kid,
they do.
That's brutal.
and he's rolling. The kid's rolling.
The explosion behind him. It's like and you just see like a limp body in a chair with like the explosion behind him. I'm like, who signed off on this? They're trying to sell cheeseburgers and they got this kid getting shot up.
Dude, Mac and Me
Damn.
is so fucking good. It really is. Like it's, and I found out about Mac and Me because of Paul Rudd going on Conan O'Brien every time he did a movie and sharing the clip of a kid on the. Do you guys remember that? Every time Paul Rudd went on Conan O'Brien, when he had a new movie come out, all he would do is show a clip of the kid falling down on the wheelchair. Dude, that kid would have died a horrible death if that was legitimate. That kid fell like, I don't know, 100 feet into that like ravine in a wheelchair. How's he swimming?
You know what's? I didn't realize that Paul Rudd thing was a thing until like very recently.
Right.
I don't watch late night TV or anything, but Mac and Me came about to me right when it came out because my brother and I, E.T. was like the big thing and we liked it, but E.T. back then made us feel uneasy. Like from that scene that they found him like basically dead at the water and he was like just laying there like in the woods. And then all the stuff after that where they like went to the house, had him all zipped up and stuff, like we couldn't get through the rest of that movie. We were like, it creeped us out big time.
Yeah.
So when we found Mac and Me, we were like, oh, this is a better alternative. And we loved it, especially because it had McDonald's in it and all that other junk too. So we absolutely loved Mac and Me. So it's been something that I know I know E.T. is a better movie, well made, but Mac and Me was always something that we kind of just used as our go-to because neither of us really liked E.T. I like it more now than I did as a kid, but
you got your Mac and Me poster still hanging in the living room?
It's right there.
Hell yeah, brother. Brandon, thoughts on Mac and Me?
I haven't seen it in a long time, probably the better part of 2 decades, so I can't really comment. I don't remember it that well, but I do remember enjoying it. I saw it pretty young in the early 90s or so. But yeah.
What have you been doing for the past 2 decades?
Not watching Mac and Me. That's
So that explains everything. You know how much more of a well-rounded individual you'd be if you watch Mac and Me on a regular rotation?
I've got to push back, Christian. I can't.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to run through 4 of these real quick. I know we're trying to get to some calls,
Dude,
but I got to pick this up.
Brandon, did you notice that guy? Like when Brandon said, I got to push back, he's been thinking of whatever this is. He's been steaming about it.
I'm actually looking forward to it because I feel like he's got some
just
good
yell at Mel. Don't yell at me.
Oh, this is just a list.
Don't yell at me.
Newbie, don't yell at me.
I'm just going to bring up these 4 titles real quick. Slime City on VHS.
I remember that. Oh, I have the DVD of that thing, but I don't remember much about it. Yeah,
it is the weirdest, sleaziest fucking movie you've ever seen.
What the fuck is that? Stuart Gordon,
fantastic.
Charlie Mann.
I think it's 86. Ghost Town, dude. Are you kidding me? This movie's fantastic.
Empire, yeah, classic.
Yeah. And obviously, one of my favorites of the 80s is the Return of Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah. Locklear.
Yes, I think it far outweighs the Wes Craven original, if I'm being honest.
What was that you just showed?
Swamp Thing 2, Return of
Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
That's better than Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah.
Return of Swamp Thing is my favorite Jim Wynorski film. Is that all you got?
That's all I got. Well, I have an unopened copy of Young Guns on VHS. That's pretty cool.
Ooh, you and these damn sealed VHS tapes.
Tagged with a Kmart sticker too. Look at that.
Kmart.
I love it.
And I got
brother.
I got Junior on VHS.
Oh, dude, that's probably rare. I mean, that thing doesn't even have a physical media release other than that, does it?
Yeah, it sucks too because it's a pretty good horror movie. And then this awesome release of Nightmare 2. And this
I think I might have that over here.
Dude, fuck that movie, dude.
I know it's terrible. The worst version of Freddy.
I think it's over there. Yeah.
Well, Nick had to bounce. He said he's got to go work on his webcam. So, now Mel, I'm gonna tell y'all, we're gonna take some calls. I'm gonna send a number out there so people can call. Now, I'm not gonna let them say anything mean about you. Don't.
Oh, good.
We're gonna take some calls. Here's the only negative thing: they won't be able to hear you guys. They'll be able to. I'll be able to talk to them. But here's what I think the parameters should be. I'm gonna put out the number, guys. Give me a call. You'll be on the show, and let me know some of your all-time favorites. Then after that, I'll cut off the call. We'll react to it. We'll take a couple calls, and then we'll end the show. But before that, I want to let everybody know that tomorrow, 6 p.m. on my Etsy store, You Need a Candles, we've got our Nightmare on Elm Street line dropping. I'll run through these really quick. We got Never Sleep Again, which, let me see if I go up there. Smells Like Coffee, Freddy Colors. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Smells Like Fruity Cereal. That's All Pride. Ooh. Love Mark Patton. Dream Warriors, Smells Like Lavender. Very, very nice. It's got like a Dream Warriors poster look. We got Dream Master, Smells Like Popcorn. Nice little color there. And of course, we got Baby Freddy, which smells just like
a baby.
It really does. Like I don't know how to make it not sound weird, but it actually smells really good. It smells like
baby powder almost.
Something, yeah, like clean baby. Right. Like it's really
not
nice.
Baby's ass, just
not a baby's ass.
I mean, that's where my mind went, and I was like, I'm not gonna say that. No.
Yeah, but yeah, there we go, guys. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Be ready for those. Let me see what else I had. Oh, Howard the Duck. I love Howard. I know Howard the Duck fans.
Oh,
How weird?
baby.
How weird is Howard the Duck?
again, could they imagine going to a studio now? Like, hey, I got a great idea for a movie here. It's gonna be about this duck that comes down to Earth and he's gonna hook up with this chick. Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
I was
Roadhouse.
actually really disappointed when that 4K came out, and I heard so many people bashing that movie because, like,
Oh,
me and my
it
brother
bombed.
loved that movie when we were younger.
It's great.
I couldn't
It's
believe
great.
so many people hated it.
yeah, because it's one of those movies I think that like it bombs so hard that it's one of the movies that I think it cost the most money but made the least or something like that. So it's one of like technically the worst movies ever made based on that. So definitely has a lot of hate, but it was one I grew up with too, Mel.
Yeah.
Real quick before we get taking calls, 808 says Stallone or Schwarzenegger, the unbeatable, most difficult question
Yeah.
ever. And
I'm a
I guess
Schwarzenegger guy.
this is an 80s episode, so let's just base it on their 80s material between the two.
I'd still say Arnold.
Yeah,
Same.
Schwarzenegger.
He's gonna go what?
90s? No, seriously. 90s Schwarzenegger all day.
Oh yeah, of course.
But for me with the 80s, because look, I'm a Terminator 2 guy. I'm not a big Terminator 1 guy. I like Terminator 1, but for me in the 80s, I mean, listen, name some of Schwarzenegger's hits from the 80s.
Commando.
You got Predator.
Recall. Predator. Recall.
I thought Recall
Conan
was
movie?
90.
Ooh,
Is
Recall.
Recall
Maybe it is.
Oh, it is 90.
Is it Running Man?
Running Man,
Conan.
that's a good one.
Conan.
Okay, that's good. Now
Twins.
okay. Now
Yeah.
I raise you. I raise you.
When's the 80s?
I raise you.
Yeah.
Maybe 80. What is it?
88?
88 maybe? Yeah.
88. All right.
Running
Fair
Man.
enough. Let me. Now I
Yo, you're
raise you.
You're gonna say like Rocky 2,
No.
Rambo 2.
Listen. I raise you. Lock Up.
Yeah. Mhm.
I raise you. Tango and Cash.
Oh, you got me with Tango and Cash, man.
I raise you with none other than Cobra.
Cobra's
Cobra.
good, yeah. I love
We're
Cobra.
talking about Cobra here.
Cobra.
I raise you, of course, First Blood. To me, it's close, but I give I give Stallone the edge in the 80s.
Yeah, but I raise you Predator 1 over all those movies. So
And you know what? I love Terminator. I mean, I to me as a kid, Terminator 2 is my jam, but now as an adult, I would rather watch Terminator, the original.
All right. Let's get this shit popping.
Woo.
All right.
Do you think they're gonna ask what the number train that was that drove by Mel's house?
It's hard to see the numbers through all the graffiti.
Imagine what number train just passed your house there? I'm trying to.
I
I'm
told
gonna
you,
try
I
to
live out in
find
the
it.
middle of nowhere. There's nothing but woods, lakes, and trains.
I love it. That's 80s though. I love
A
that.
giant
Like-
satellite dish.
It's like Stand By Me over there.
Right? Yeah.
Dude,
We walk
oh,
along
yeah.
the train tracks and we find
All right,
dead
guys.
bodies.
Are y'all ready? We're going to get some calls.
1-900-909-9900. Go.
Anybody can call into the show. Give us a call and tell us your favorite 80s movies. No racial slurs. None of that. Behave. All right, Mel, brace yourself.
Call from.
Dalton.
To accept, press 1.
All right, Dalton, you are live on Planet CHH Best of the 80s. What do you got for us?
I got a couple movies here. First and foremost, the movie that gave me my name, starring the great, legendary Patrick Swayze, Roadhouse.
Yes. Great pick.
Roadhouse is awesome. Sam Elliott, you can't go wrong with Sam.
Hell yeah.
Great 80s cheese. Next is one of my favorite sports movies and a great comedy with an all-star cast. That's Major League.
Yes.
Love Major League.
My favorite
Came
baseball
out in
movie.
89. Yes, great movie. I've never seen this movie, but I got to give a shout out to it because it's one of my wife's favorites, and that's The Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal, yeah.
I've never seen it, but it's one of her favorites.
Bowie.
One of my favorite from my childhood. I haven't seen it in a while, but it has the saddest scene in movie history, and that's the never-ending story with that fucking horse. That shit makes me
Turn
cry every time.
around.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You guys already mentioned Over the Top. I think it's a very underrated Sylvester Stallone movie. Surprised nobody mentioned Top Gun or Field of Dreams or
There's so
those movies.
you're right. There's just so much to talk about. That's why I'm taking calls so you can mention these films. You know?
Yeah. I'm trying not to go for the big ones. I mean, of course, I love Friday and Nightmare and all that stuff, but and then I got to give some love to my favorite 80s slasher, My Bloody Valentine.
Nice.
And then my favorite Italian movie, The Beyond.
Oh, great pick. The Beyond is money every day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Yes. Fulci all day. Dario's great, but I'm a Fulci guy.
Amen. Any person of class and taste is a Fulci guy.
Well, man, I mean, this has been a great show. You have some great guests on tonight. It's been fun.
I do. Which guest is your favorite?
Oh man, you gonna put me on the spot like that?
Go ahead. You don't have to answer that, but you can if you want.
I'll give some love to Mel.
Oh,
she's the new one. You know, no slip, no dip. There you go.
All right, Dalton. Well, hey man, thanks for the call, brother.
No problem, man.
All right, thanks. Take it easy. All right. Before we take another call, guys, any thoughts on Dalton's movies?
All great.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Brandon?
We could dedicate a 2-hour podcast to Roadhouse, okay?
Roadhouse is fucking money.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. We got a call from New York. Are y'all ready?
Call from
Jason.
You're listening to Planet CHH Live. We've got Jason on the line. Jason, what do you have for us?
Hey, how's it going, Christian?
What's
How's
up?
it going, everybody?
What's
hey,
up?
I gotta say, as far as a lot of people talk about the most disturbing movies. They talk about like 100 Days of Sodom and Irreversible and all that. The most effective movie I ever saw, my dad showed it to me when I was like 10 years old. He probably fucking shouldn't have. And it was called Spurlusch. It's The Vanishing. That's what it was called in America. And it's all about closure. A guy's wife goes missing. She gets kidnapped at a gas station in the Netherlands. Fantastic, just directed fantastically by George Sluza. And he has to deal with that. He winds up coming in contact with the guy who actually took her. And there's tons and tons of movies that people consider to be just mind-bogglingly like horrible. There's all that kind of stuff. This movie, it's the kind of movie that like now, even if I'm traveling with my wife, we'll be driving. She'll stop at a store, a mobile mart, Cumberland Farms, and she might not come out for like 10 minutes. And I start going in there and I'm looking around and suddenly I can't see her and I start thinking of this movie. And I think that's my all-time favorite horror, even though a lot of people may not have heard of it, or maybe they don't even consider it a horror.
Now, hey, are you a physical media guy?
Yes.
So,
Die Hard.
Well, let me ask you this: was The Vanishing released from Criterion?
Yes, it was released in Criterion, and then they wind up doing the director, Sluza, who's a genius. He directed the remake actually with Jeff Bridges and Sandra Bullock, and it was a piece of shit. They should have salted the fucking earth and like buried it with like a upside down fucking McDonald's sign over it because it was fucking horrible.
Well,
but it was Criterion.
Dude, you have got me mega excited. I'm looking at this movie now. I got to be honest, I never heard of it. Really quick, let me ask my people. Have you guys seen this film, The Vanishing?
Yeah.
Y'all, Mel, it's the real deal, right?
It is. It's creepy. It's a psychological thriller.
Yeah, that's the movie that my dad showed me when I was a kid, and I was like, why the fuck are you showing me this? Like, I'm watching like Are You Afraid of the Dark and shit, and then suddenly he's showing me this, and I'm like, someday I'm gonna be married. And I'm gonna have to like deal with fucking psychos. Like, I don't even think I'm gonna go to the Netherlands, and I got to deal with fucking psychos from there.
Dude.
So,
Dude, first of all, thanks for calling into the show, and thanks for mentioning this. I'd never heard of this. You have got me really excited. I'm gonna get this movie.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. I love your show. You, Nick, everybody, they got me through when I was sick the last few months. You guys,
dude,
you're my favorite. I'm always on your streams. I'm Creasefold.
Okay,
So,
Creasefold.
Yeah. So, hey, I don't want to take up any more of your time. Thanks everybody else too for, I've enjoyed your stream tonight a lot.
Hey, Creasefold, we've got, just so you know, we've got my panel tonight. I've got Brandon from Tabado Vision. Check him out.
Yeah, Tabado.
Yeah, I got Garrett, Born to Be Red. Are you familiar with Born to Be Red?
I am. I watch every single one of you guys stream, so I've seen all of you guys. You're like buddies from another mother or something. I forgot how the phrase goes.
I feel you.
I love it.
Hey, and Mel, she's part of Garrett's Rad Pack, and she's My Killer podcast. Check her out too. She's all right. She hasn't pissed me off too bad today.
I love the brick facade. I feel like I'm waiting for a train, and it might come.
The train did come. You hear? Hey, go back and watch the show earlier, Creasefold. God,
oh shit!
Somebody's about to pull something out. Mel's got a damn train going off in the background.
She's in.
Oh shit!
Hey man,
take it easy,
man. We'll holler at you.
Take it easy, brother.
All right,
I
later.
love you guys.
Love you too.
See ya.
Right,
we figured it out. Mel basically, she lives in the subway. She's doing her shows down there at the subway.
Yeah,
Mel's a Ninja Turtle.
The brick. That's where the brick comes from.
I love it.
So Mel, take a second. Tell me about this movie before we take any more calls. The Vanishing.
So it's basically what he said. It's a man and wife, and they're on a trip, and she disappears, and then it jumps ahead like several years, and he's still looking for her. And he just it's the unknown factor of it all. It's the psychological thrillerness of it all, where he just never finds out. Well, the person who takes her has been watching him, and he's been like getting off on his searching for her. Well, finally he quits. Well, then the guy gets upset that took her. It doesn't want him to quit. He wants him to keep looking for her. So then the guy contacts him and asks him if he wants to know what happened to her. And then there's like this whole story about how that plays out. It's very interesting. It's a high recommendation.
Cool.
I definitely recommend checking that out.
I'm excited. Garrett, have you seen this movie?
I have, and to be honest though, I don't mind the remake with Kiefer Sutherland, and I thought that was really well done. But again, that came out I think in like the early 90s, I believe, and that's the one I saw first, so I had to go back and watch the original one. But yeah, it's exactly what Mel said. It is definitely creepy. For sure.
I haven't seen the original one though. Is that easy to?
Oh, so you're talking about the one with Kiefer?
He was talking about the original one.
Yeah, from the Netherlands or
right.
something.
And then the remake, the guy. Remake. I'm gonna check out the remake too. I like Kiefer.
Yeah, check out the remake. That's the one that I saw.
Is it Sandra Bullock, right? Jeff Bridges and Kiefer are the three main characters, right? Is it Sandra Bullock? Yeah. I think so.
Well, because there's another movie that's kind of similar.
Yeah, it's the one I know what you're gonna say.
Where the woman gets in the semi truck and disappears.
Breakdown. It's
Breakdown.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. Yeah.
Is that with Kurt Russell? Is he in that movie?
One's with Kurt Russell. Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Are you guys okay if we take a few more calls? Anybody need to go? Y'all are good? Okay. Got people calling in like crazy.
Call from
Kaylin.
Oh shit. Did he hang up? Somebody called back. I lost him. Okay, we got a Illinois call.
Call from
Tony.
This is Planet CHH live. We've got Tony on the line. Tony, what do you got for us?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I got two picks real quick. I don't want to take up too much time, but it's going to be Adventures in Babysitting and Midnight Run.
Nice.
Great picks. Tell us about those movies. What do you love about them?
Babysitting was one that I grew up with. Didn't grow up in the 80s, born in the 90s, but that was one that was always in the household. Grew up in Oak Park where the movie mostly takes place. Some great shout outs to Halloween there. Deborah Hill producing it. And man, it's just a fun film and really dark for a Disney produced kids film.
Those are good picks. You still with us?
Yeah, and sorry, I have bad connection here. I'm at the mall. But Midnight Run, love it. Martin Brest is really, I think, an underrated voice in the 80s with this and the Beverly Hills Cop movies. And one of the best buddy action films, too, I got to say.
Oh, without a question. You got any other picks for us you want to mention real quick?
Nah, man, just those two. Just wanted to shout those out real quick. Love the show.
Hey, real quick, Stallone or Schwarzenegger in the 80s?
You know, I got to give Stallone the edge. Another movie that wasn't mentioned was Nighthawk.
Nighthawk! Yes! Fuck yes!
I got him. I'm a huge Stallone fan. Grew up with him. My grandmother was a huge fan, so like that was something I've seen like literally every movie of his. Nighthawks is totally underrated.
Fuck yeah! You got me standing up, brother. Hey, dude. Thanks for your call. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna send you something free for a good answer like that. But you take care, Tony.
Have a great night, guys. Thank you.
God bless.
Later. Listen.
Real quick, any thoughts on Nighthawks? Does that swing Garrett or Tabata Vision? Nighthawks?
No, but I love it. But it doesn't.
Brandon said Predator. It don't matter what any of these other idiots made. Predator. You're saying Predator is the best between the two? Brandon, I'm in my fucking jorts. You got me standing up.
I love it.
Mel, what the fuck is so funny over there?
Just this whole thing.
All right. Well, Mel, hold on, Mel. We got somebody else calling. Let's see what the hell they want.
Call from.
It's Movie Eddie.
To accept, press 1.
You're on the Unita. Excuse me, this isn't Unita. You're on Planet CHH Live. What do you got for us? Who we got on the line here?
Is this Christian?
Yes.
Yeah, Christian, man. This is Movie Eddie. How you doing?
How you doing, man? Good to hear from you.
All right, man. Sounds good, man. Old school. Been watching you guys for a long time.
Hell yeah, man. Well, look, we're talking the best of the 80s. Why don't you talk some sense into these guys and tell us what some of the best 80s movies are?
Okay, Christian, here's the story. Okay, I was born like in early late 70s or so like that. So I was a projectionist when I was like about 18. This is like 1985. So every movie you could ever imagine, I ran. Okay, so every movie that played in the theaters, I've ran, and I watched them all in the 80s. I'm an 80s kid myself.
I love it.
Huh?
So hey, so you saw like the theater experience of the audience. Tell me what you can remember of like a movie that just completely captivated the audience, that had them cheering, that had them running out of the theater, had them screaming, crying. What do you remember from being up in that projectionist booth where a movie just trampled an audience in one way or another?
What a trip. Okay, I remember Rocky 3. Okay, people standing up on their seats in the theater, punching at the screen. Okay, just literally punching on the screen. And were
people crying? I mean, like seriously, were people crying when Rocky won? Like, were they brought to tears in the theater?
No. They were happy. He beat the hell out of that guy.
I'm saying happy tears, right? I mean, like happy tears.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right. But if you look at the 80s, if I remember the 80s, it's all about the music and the fashion. So I remember everything about, like, you know, the clothes, going to the clubs. So you guys haven't covered the music, but the music was a big thing in the 80s. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Dressing up, going to the clubs and hanging out. And it was it was a great time for like the music and stuff like that. The movies were there. I remember John Hughes big time. I remember watching. You guys didn't mention like Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink
was a big movie. I remember like Some Kind of Wonderful. You forgot about Fast Times at Richmond High.
Oh man.
You know, you had a lot of great 80s comedies, and of course for me, I agree with you. Stallone, man. Stallone rocked it in the 80s.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, but don't forget the horror, man. Everything was Friday the 13th every other year, and I remember Halloween, and I remember all those Freddys going on.
Now, let me ask you about a certain movie, okay? Because Damn Dirt Ape in the chat is mentioning this film. Please tell me you were working at Projection in 1988, and
Yeah.
this movie called Bloodsport hits the theaters.
I remember that.
Now,
read that.
did you what do you remember about that film? Because I'm a Van Damme fanatic. That is my favorite film. That's my favorite canon picture is Bloodsport. What do you remember about that? Was that a movie you enjoyed seeing back in the day?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the first introduction of
Van Damme.
Of Van Damme.
And
yeah.
the music,
He was-
right? You're talking about the music from the 80s, the Stan Bush soundtracks. I mean, that movie is just pure emotion.
It rocked. Yeah, it was amazing, and he went ahead and started his career pretty much with that movie. I think later on he started doing all the
Time Cop, Death Warrant,
no.
Double Impact.
I remember that. He had his audience. And Wesley Snipes had his audience too.
He did. Wesley Snipes was big too. Dude,
Yeah.
thanks for this call. I mean, it's great to have somebody that was a projectionist telling us what the hell happened, and somebody with some experience telling us that Stallone is better.
21 years I ran the booth up in back over here in Miami.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, and had a good time. The best job I ever had in my life.
You still over there in Florida?
Yeah. The job doesn't exist anymore. I became a dinosaur.
Well, how's the weather over there? How are you enjoying Florida right now?
Hot. Just plain old hot. As hot as you could get.
Right.
But yeah. But anyway, listen, I love you guys. Tell Garrett he's awesome. Mel is awesome. And everybody, every time I watch you guys kick ass.
Well, thank you.
You guys rock.
We got another call coming in. God bless you, dude. Godspeed.
Take care, man.
Care. All right.
Have fun.
Call from
Kaylin, the local horror fan. This is my friend, guys. You are on Planet CHH Live. We've got Mel, Garrett, and Brandon. What do you got for us tonight?
Hey, guys. Long-time fan, first caller.
What do you got for us, Kaylin? Talk to us. What are your favorite 80s films?
When I was growing up, I really enjoyed B-rated horror movies. And one of my favorites was Trauma. And I was wondering if you guys were big fans of The Toxic Avenger, possibly one of my favorite movies from the 80s.
Again, they can't hear you can't hear them, Kaylin, but give me a second, guys. Are we Trauma fans? Are we Toxic Avenger fans?
I like Toxie, yeah.
Yep.
We got thumbs up on Toxie. We got a bunch of Toxic Crusaders up here on the show, Kaylin.
All right, great job. Love the show. Ciao.
Hey, hold on, Kaylin.
Yeah.
Stallone or Schwarzenegger in the 80s?
Stallone in the 80s, all the way.
God bless you.
Schwarzenegger in the 90s, though.
Yeah, amen. Amen. God bless. You be good, all right?
All right.
All
Bye,
right.
Christian.
John, if you're trying to call. Guys, any
I'm actually, more impressed that we just got someone to call us from the mall. I think that was like
who's at the mall right now?
That's 80s, bro. That's 80s.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, let's see who we got here.
Call from
Sarah.
To accept, press 1.
Oh
Call
crap!
from
I hung up on that
Cool
person.
movie ratings.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press
You are live on Planet CHH. We're talking the best of the 80s. Who do we have on the line here?
Hi, I'm a 13-year-old movie lover, especially of horror, and I'm just here to talk about some of my favorite 80s movies. On here, I got Aliens. That's my all-time favorite 80s movie.
All right.
Along with The Goonies, Stand By Me, The Shining, Gremlins, First Blood, like you guys mentioned, Breakfast Club, Beverly Hills Cop. One of the most underrated movies that I hear no one talking about is War Games.
Yeah, War Games.
War Games is great.
Yeah, you said you're
And then-
13?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's cool that you're watching all those movies at a young age, man. Where are you from? Just state. Don't tell me city. I don't want nobody coming to find you.
Oh, yeah, Maryland.
Maryland. God, I don't know anybody from Maryland. What the hell do y'all do in Maryland?
Most people eat crabs, but I'm actually allergic to crabs.
Most people eat crab. Hey, what was your name again? Oh, you don't have to give me your name. Do you have a channel name?
Yeah, Cool Movie Ratings. I'm Jack.
Okay, Cool Movie Ratings. Well, hey, man, thanks for your call. I appreciate it. You've been watching Planet
Yeah.
CHH for a while?
Yeah, I've been watching you guys for about a month now, and I'm glad that I could call in and talk to you guys about movies.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate your call. You be good, all right?
All right.
All right,
you.
brother.
See
Take
ya.
it easy. All right, let's take this one, guys. Then we'll take a break for a second.
Call from.
Albert Creed.
To accept, press 1.
Hey, you're live on Planet CHH. What do you got for us, John Kyle? Are you there?
I'm here. Is this really what CHH?
Yeah, you're talking to Planet CHH right now on the line. You've got Mel with us. You've got Garrett from Born to Be Red, and Brandon Tabata Vision is here. Dead air, dead air.
Well, to me, it's green shirt, backwards hat, and hot girl.
Garrett,
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Mel is very flattered.
Oh, am I the hot one? Is that...
Which one's the hot girl? Is it green? What are you saying? Green shirt's not attractive, John?
I'll take it.
Christian, if you have to ask that question, maybe you should go in the back room of Von Dom. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, John, I'm going to ask you a question. I've got you on the horn. 1980s, Schwarzenegger or Stallone? Set the record straight. Take all the time you need.
Hey, there's an echo, but give me like a minute, and I'll answer this question perfectly for you, okay?
Do you want to call back? Hello.
Hey, I just got to answer this question perfectly.
Okay.
So if you tell me to call back, I'll call back. It's your world, CHH.
Hey.
I don't have hair like you do.
No, you don't. Nobody has luscious locks like me. How much of a delay do we have with John?
Quite a bit, it seems.
Yeah.
But let me just say it real quick.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Just give him a second.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I don't know if you've ever heard of Brian Dennehy. He played the sheriff in First Blood, and he was in the movie Fist with Sylvester Stallone.
Yes, keep going. We're listening. Keep going, John.
He said a perfect quote about Sylvester Stallone.
Keep going. We're listening.
Nobody gave Stallone anything. He built himself from the ground up. Schwarzenegger, let's be honest, James Cameron gave him his career in acting. Stallone wrote, directed, and produced his own movies.
So what you're saying is it's no contest. Stallone is leaps and bounds better than Schwarzenegger, and James Cameron is a poopy head.
Let's be honest. We all hate nepotism. Stallone's a self-made man. No disrespect to Stallone, even Kurt Russell, whose father was the sheriff in Bonanza. Stallone did it.
Uh-oh. Johnny, we're losing you.
I'm just saying, I think Stallone's the man. I was born and raised in the inner city of Philadelphia.
Son of a bitch, we keep dropping. Hey, Johnny, we're losing you. You want to try to call back?
Are you losing me?
Yeah. Hey,
Schwarzenegger's people cut me off.
Johnny, you don't have your. Johnny? Do you have your TV on? Like, you're not watching the stream while trying to talk to us, are you? Are you just on the phone?
I'm still watching the stream.
Yeah, you can't. Give us a call back later, John, but you can't watch the stream while you're on the phone with us. Otherwise, there's going to be a big delay. All right.
Okay, I'll be picking berries with Seagal, Christian.
All right, go pick those berries. We're going to take another call, Johnny, but hey, we love you, all right? We'll holler at you.
Call from. To accept, press 1.
Hey, who do we got here?
Hey, Kristen, this is Sarah. I'm a huge fan of your show.
Hey, what do you got for us?
So I just wanted to say it's awesome that Brandon broke out the VHS tapes tonight. I'm a huge collector. I was born in the early 80s, and I recently started collecting tapes. I have I don't know, probably over 300 tapes. And there's just a few movies I wanted to ask if you guys have seen or heard of.
Go ahead.
Okay, one of them is called Blood Hook. You guys ever heard of that?
I'm getting a few thumbs. Some of my panelists have seen it. I am not cultured as them. Me or Brandon are shaking our heads in confusion. But keep going.
I would definitely check it out. It's like a late slasher movie. There's another one called Strip to Kill. It's basically about a slasher who's killing off strippers. That one came out in '87.
Great one.
You've seen it? Awesome. Okay. I'm just trying to think of some more obscure ones. You know, I love all the stuff like Teen Wolf and My Best Friend's a Vampire, you know, all those good 80s movies.
Oh, what about, really quick,
right now.
what about Once
Yeah.
Bitten with Jim Carrey?
I freaking love it.
God bless.
I love it. Yeah. But I think it's awesome that y'all are doing this. I would like Terror Vision, Spookies, Society, all those movies.
Spookies?
I love it. But yeah.
You like
Have seen
Spookies?
Hell yeah.
I love
I kept
Spookies.
calling. I'm so glad you picked up. I was like, I'm just gonna keep trying to call to get through.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
But yeah,
I
you're
gotta.
good.
I can't take all the calls. Sometimes people are calling while we're on the phone. So if you keep trying,
Yeah.
eventually I'll get you.
Okay, another crazy one I just watched, Monster High. It's just bananas.
Monster High. I don't know that I've seen
Yeah.
Monster High. I've seen Zombie
It's-
High with the girl from Candyman, Virginia Madsen. I hadn't seen Monster High though.
I have not seen that one. I'll have to check it out. But check out Monster High. It's got every just kind of weird, crazy, cheesy '80s thing you could imagine in it. It's awesome. But yeah, I love your show. I love, you know, horror, and I just love everything you're doing on your show. And Melda's cool. You know, it's the first time she's on the show, so it's cool. You know, you'll have a female one tonight. But I love all you guys. Y'all are all awesome, and I won't take up too much of your time. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for what you're doing, and I love the '80s, and I live it every day.
Hey, are you familiar with Are you familiar with everybody else on the show? Brandon on Tabata Vision and Garrett
Yeah.
Want to Be Read. All right, be sure.
I know Brandon and
Go ahead.
I know Brandon and Garrett, but I don't know Mel as much. But I turned it on tonight. I said, "Oh my God, they have a chick on the show tonight."
I know, crazy thing. Well, My Killer Podcast is her channel. Go check her out, okay?
Okay, awesome. I'll definitely check it out. But yeah, thanks again, and I'm glad I got to talk to y'all.
All right, thank you for calling.
Y'all have a good night.
All right, good night.
Bye bye.
All right, guys. That's been fun. We don't have to take any more if y'all want to talk for a minute. I don't want to keep y'all here too long. 2 hours is usually how long the longest I go. I tire like an old man. So what? I'm sorry. Garrett, what do you got, man? Where do we go from here?
I had a great time. I actually like the call thing. I like it.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever done it, so it's been pretty cool to kind of see people calling in and chatting about 80s. So I'm cool with all this.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Brandon, where are we at with you?
This was a lot of fun. I do want to shout out a couple titles that I didn't mention in the stream tonight.
Go right ahead.
Heavy Metal.
I watched Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal. Fucking awesome.
Yes.
It was
Okay,
perfect.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Ghoulies. We didn't talk about Ghoulies. We didn't talk about Parenthood, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Problem Child, Uncle Buck, Mr. Mom, Lost Boys, License to Drive, St. Elmo's Fire, and Revenge of the Nerd.
Yeah, man. We could go for 7 hours talking about this. There's
It's
so
like either-
much out
yeah,
there.
there's
Karate
so
Kid,
much.
we haven't talked about. Yeah.
Karate Kid. Is Karate Kid 2 80s as well? Is that 88? 86,
Yeah, I think it's
88?
80s. I think it's
I love
80.
part 2.
Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Christine. Oh, God. I love Christine.
Nobody mentioned Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi either, which is kind of weird.
That's right.
I'm not a Star Wars guy.
Mhm.
Monster Squad. Oh, my God.
See, we could go on forever, man. You know?
Did anybody mention Valley Girl?
No, we didn't mention Valley Girl.
So I mean, man, we could do a freaking part 2 over here. There's just so much to talk about. And, you know, obviously I see people in the chat, they bringing up some really good stuff. I can't believe we didn't talk about Fast Times. People brought up Flight of the Navigator. Like, that was a big one for me as well. Just one of the guys. Like, we could go on and on about this stuff, but Weekend at Bernie's, didn't talk about that either.
But going back to Michael Fox for a second, Secret of My Success is
I love it.
straight music magic from David Foster. What else do we have from the 80s with Michael? Son of a bitch. I'm drawing a blank now.
Well, you have Doc Hollywood. Is that 80s?
That was 91 or 93, but I know it's 90s. A lot of my favorite stuff from him is 90s too.
Is probably one of my favorite Fox films is Secret of My Success.
It's so good.
Class of '84 he was in. Great
Class
movie.
of '84 is great.
Yeah.
God, dude, it's like there's so much stuff where I don't even know what to say at this point.
Killer Clowns.
Killer
Well,
Clowns.
not Fox, but yeah.
We haven't talked about any horror really.
Deadly Friend.
I love Deadly Friend so much.
Want to look on Creep Show?
Yeah.
Creep Show
How
2.
about Runaway with Gene Simmons and Kirstie Alley?
Dude, Runaway is fucking awesome.
It is good.
It's so good.
Yeah, man, we could go on forever. It's
Gleaming
just
the Cube.
Oh, is that 80s?
Mhm.
Oh wow, yeah, great one.
89.
Goddamn.
The Wraith.
Wraith.
The Wraith is good. Secret Loser, that Ozzy song's in there.
I mean, Goonies, Big, Uncle Buck. Like, I don't think we didn't say Beetlejuice. I mean, there's just so many.
Yeah.
Rawhead Rex. I mean, come on.
I love Rawhead Rex.
Oh yeah.
I love Rawhead Rex. Poltergeist 2, Poltergeist 3, all that's money. Hellraiser. We're gonna talk a little horror. Hellraiser 1 and 2 is fucking the best. Hellraiser 2. I don't know.
Big Trouble.
Big Trouble. So I think that's John Carpenter's favorite John Carpenter movie too. Missing in Action is money. Death Wish 2 and 3 is perfection on film. Cyborg. I think I have. Yeah, I got my Cyborg right there. Look at that. Look at that beauty.
Ooh.
You can't beat that. God, I love Cyborg.
Christian, we didn't once mention Return of the Living Dead, man. Not one time.
You know, let's
avoid
just mention it.
Say it.
God, it's the greatest movie ever. I mean, I really just that's perfection on film.
I don't know, bro. People want a part 2, man. Maybe we should keep a lot of these titles on the lock and key.
Yeah, we can do this again. I'll have to check my contract negotiations with Mel. She'll probably try to want more money. But hey, before we get going,
I told her to get that money, man.
Before we go, do y'all want to take one more call before we go? Wrap it up. Y'all cool with one more call?
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Real quick, we got Ghost Dog here. $1.99 super chat. Thank you. It's gonna get me an old taco tomorrow. Lethal Weapon, best cop movie of all time. Dude, Lethal Weapon 2 is my favorite. Is anybody else a Lethal Weapon 2 person? Like 2 is my favorite. Or are you all part 1?
I've seen all of them, but I can't distinguish them from each other at this point.
Yeah.
I
love
fluctuate
part 2. But the thing about Lethal Weapon that's so damn good. Oh, we got a call. Let's take this call.
Call from
Marcelo.
to accept.
Hey, you're live on Planet CHH. What do you got for us?
Hey, Christian, how you doing?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm good. I have to say that one of my favorites is Streets of Fire.
Streets of Fire. Oh my God, William Dafoe's in it.
Yep. Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
I don't know, just the soundtrack and I mean Willem Dafoe as the main biker villain.
Right.
It's just great, and then that fight with the hammers at the end. It was just great.
Dude, that movie's so good. I remember Scream Factory put that out really early on in their lifespan, and I didn't get it, and then they put out this cool steelbook of it, and I wanted to get that, but then I ended up just getting a regular release of that. But that's a great movie. I forgot my favorite song from the soundtrack. Starts out with like a nice keyboard piece. It's damn it. What is the name of that song? I don't want to waste that air. But yeah, great movie. Great pick,
Yeah.
Streets of Fire. What else you got? You got anything else for me?
I would have to say I really like Cobra from Cobra.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone.
Now, do you cut pizza with scissors?
No, but sometimes I wish I would, like Sylvester. But
If I could
It
ever
seems pretty
interview,
cool.
if I could ever interview Stallone, you know that's the first thing I'm asking him. Hey,
oh yeah, definitely.
Why'd you cut pizza out of the freezer with scissors, brother? And he eats it with his gloves on.
Yeah, he's just a badass.
I mean, that's Brandon Tabato's favorite part of Cobra. He wouldn't change a thing.
No, I wouldn't either.
Tell me about Cobra, man. Is it the car? Is it the villain? Is it the style? Is it the soundtrack? Or is it all of the above?
Honestly, I'm just like a big Stallone fan. So like just the combination with Stallone going after a serial killer, it's just I don't know.
Yeah, it's
and
good
then
stuff.
like my favorite line is when he says, "You're the disease and I'm the cure."
Oh yeah, that's money.
Yeah,
I like it. I remember the beginning when that nerdy cop is like trying to give Stallone shit for saving all those people's
Yeah.
lives in there. Did he have to die? Won't you tell that to his family? Oh man, that's a movie right there, brother.
Stallone, yep.
Well, let me
Yeah.
ask you a quick question before I let you go. 1980s, Stallone or Schwarzenegger? Now, before you answer, Mel has changed her mind. She's now saying Stallone. She said Tango and Cash pushed her over the edge. Garrett and Brandon are vehemently denying the integrity of Sylvester Stallone in the 1980s. They claim that Predator pushes Schwarzenegger over the edge for Stallone of the decade. Now, where are you sitting at with all this?
I'm sticking to
like
my
I said,
gun.
I'm a big Stallone fan in the '80s, so I'm gonna have to go with Stallone.
Well, take this time to tell Garrett and Brandon what you think about them.
I mean, everybody, has their right to an opinion.
Don't be diplomatic now.
No, I'm just saying. I have no problem with either one, But Stallone, I grew up with Stallone, so
I hear you, brother. Well, hey, man, I appreciate your call.
no problem. Thank you.
All right, take it easy.
Have a good one.
Well, thoughts, feedback,
I'm holding my ground here, Brandon. Are you?
Brandon?
Same. Nope, not changing.
All right, look, it's 3 minutes to 2 o'clock. If somebody calls real quick, I'll take the call.
3 minutes to 2 o'clock.
3 minutes or 2 hours.
Oh, I was gonna say, what time is it?
I'll take the
You've been
call.
on here forever.
Thank y'all for hopping on. This is fun. Brandon, I want to say Brandon created the thumbnail and for this video, which Brandon's thumbnails, I've never seen anybody make thumbnails like Brandon. They're amazing. So Brandon, thank you so much. You're a great dude. All right, we got a call coming in.
Call from. To accept, press 1.
You are live on Planet CHH. We're talking all things 80s. What do we have?
What it is, it's the Buzz and Rick the Prick.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Christian. It's actually Gabe Keokla.
Gabe, what's up, brother?
Oh, same old, same old. I don't know if y'all mentioned tonight, but one that comes to mind from the 80s, not just for the movie, but for a specific scene, and that would be 3 Men and a Baby.
3 Men and a Baby.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me
Just for
about
that
it.
We used to rent it all the time just to fast forward to that little ghost scene, which turned out to be Ted Danson.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was the urban legend, if you pause it, then he'd disappear. And so we'd leave it paused for like 20, 30 minutes eating pizza and nothing would happen.
Well, that we have not brought up 3 Men and a Baby. That's a great pick. Gabe, do you have let's talk about the 80s for a second, real quick, Gabe, since we got you on the horn. The 1980s,
right.
man. Tell me about it. What is the best film of the decade if you had to pick one?
Oh, wow. That's
Any
a
genre.
tough one. First one that comes to mind is Halloween 2.
Tell me about Halloween 2.
Oh, I just love it. It's filmed in Southern California, like literally like 10 minutes away from my grandparents. So
Really?
just neighborhood that Michael lived in, pretty much that Michael lived in. And the Elrod it looked exactly like my grandparents' neighborhood. So it
Right.
was always really cool.
Right. Let's a great pick. Now, let me ask you real quick about, like, let's say action. Are you into some 80s action, Gabe? Do you ever watch any of that?
Oh yeah.
What's
I would have to say one of the best is Schwarzenegger in Commando.
Agree.
Now, let me just ask the question. Great pick, first of all. Commando is great. Is that the best, in your opinion, is that the best 80s Arnold Schwarzenegger film, Commando? Or are you a Predator guy or a Running Man guy or a Terminator guy?
I'm Commando all day long.
So you go you go Commando all day long?
Hell yeah.
Now, comedies, real quick, Gabe. Comedies, do we have anything for comedies? You have a favorite?
I'd say Mark Harmon in Summer School.
That's a great pick.
Oh yeah.
That's a great pick. So let me ask you this, Gabe. Final question of the night. Now you're going to end the show. We're ending the show on you right here.
Okay, no pressure.
1980s, Schwarzenegger or Stallone? Who was better?
Oh, that's definitely that's Schwarzenegger all day long.
Oh, we lost.
Yeah,
him.
baby, we finished strong here. All right.
Gabe, I'm going to listen to your explanation.
Oh, it's a big ass dude with big ass guns and a lot of people dying. There's just a purity to it, and the accent, everything, the haircut. Yeah, you can't top Schwarzenegger.
Okay, I'll accept it. Gabe, thank you for calling. Thank you. I know you've been watching the show for a while. You probably found me through Pizzal, who was a big inspiration for me. So I appreciate you calling and watching the show, Gabe.
Not a problem. Y'all have a great night, and thanks for doing what you do.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
All right, guys. That has been this has been a Planet CHH Best of the 80s live stream. I guess apparently we got to do more.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Yeah, man. I liked it.
Yeah.
This was super fun. Thank you for having me on, by the way. I just wanted to throw that out there. This was super fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. The red packs are welcome here.
Oh, appreciate that.
Yeah. So, and Brandon, as always, man. Me and Brandon did a stream the other night, and we just had a good fucking time.
It was chill.
We were talking about Mad Max, and I like Thunderdome now. I don't know what it was. It's the Tina Turner song won me over because I was watching the In Search of Tomorrow, which I think is the best In Search of documentary so far.
I agree actually with you. I agree.
Yeah, my buddy, he is sending me In Search of the Last Action Hero, so I'm gonna watch that. But In Search of Tomorrow, in my opinion, was just fantastic. They got big profile people. Jesse Ventura was on there. They had actors on there. They had really cool film reviewers, and I learned a lot of stuff. And I don't know, I thought that was great. So I revisited Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome on 4K, and I had a great time. I still think Road Warrior's the best, though.
Is there a reason why you think that you like that one the best? Because you've seen the other ones, like the Search of Darkness, the two horror ones, right?
They were good. It's just the reason I think it's the best is very subjective, because In Search of Darkness, I can't recall not seeing most of the films that were in there. Exactly. So it's not a knock on those, but In Search of Tomorrow opened my eyes to wanting to watch those Star Trek movies, which, me and Brandon were talking about, like Wrath of Khan is supposed to be like the real deal. Like it's supposed to be like a damn good movie. So like I'm excited to watch Star Trek. I've seen Next Generation, the show. I used to watch a little bit of that when I was a kid, but I want to see these movies now. Like they actually look kind of cool, and there's some cool stuff I got to check out.
I agree with you, man. I liked it the best because, like you said, I'm very familiar with the horror genre. So watching it, you were kind of like, oh yeah, I know all these. Search of Darkness, there was a lot in there that I had never seen before. So that's why I liked it the best, because I learned about a lot of stuff that I'm like, you know what, I got to watch this or rewatch this. And the Star Trek movies, I liked a lot as a kid, so much so that it got me to start watching the show, and then I hated the show. So I was like, eh. So I haven't gone back and watched the Star Trek movies in a real long time. So I think I might probably snag some of those 4Ks that are coming out with the original artwork and stuff. So just to kind of give them another shot. But yeah, I thought Search of Tomorrow was excellent.
It's so good. I wish somehow it was streaming somewhere so people could see it easy. But I don't know. That was so good. That was so good. And I'm trying to think of what else I watched. Oh, we talked about it earlier, but heavy metal. Oh my God. I didn't realize it was a rated R thing. You know, I thought it was just a cartoon, and I have to really be in the mood to watch that kind of stuff. I like the Flintstones still. I watched the Flintstones, but I loved heavy metal. It was so. I listened to the soundtrack a lot.
So good.
You know,
soundtrack kicks fucking ass too.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But I don't know. Mel, what do you have for me before we sign off? You got anything?
I don't think so. I have not seen heavy metal, so maybe I'll have to watch that one.
What are you watching this week, Mel? What's on your docket?
What's on my docket for this week? Probably
Halloween 2?
Yeah, for sure. That's number one.
What's the right answer? What's the right answer, Mel?
Encino Man for sure.
Yes! That is the right answer.
That's such a good movie. Have you seen that before, Mel? Encino Man?
Yes, I have.
It's so good.
It is very good.
I'm such a Pauly Shore fan.
He was so great back in the day. I wish he didn't like slowly disappear.
Yeah. That Joe Rogan podcast he did was great because he really talked about why he thought his career started sinking. He said he just started doing movies all his agents were telling him not to do and stuff, but I love Pauly Shore. I mean, Garrett probably remembers even better. Like, how big was he, Garrett? Like, he was Mr.
He
MTV.
was over. Yeah,
you know?
he was MTV. You know what's a funny? The reason she's talking about Encino Man is if you don't know, her and I have a show with Justin on Friday. This Friday, talking all Encino Man. Now, I'm sure we'll touch upon this, but did you know that he basically plays the same character he played in Class Act? So it's some kind of like weird multiverse type thing. I don't know if there's story behind that, but if you guys aren't familiar with Kid and Play's Class Act, which is a real cool movie that came out.
Movies, man.
Oh, way better. Oh, of course. And
Fantastic.
he plays the exact same character in that as Encino Man. So you kind of wonder if it's like the same school or it's strange. It's like a weird, I don't know. I'd have to do a little more research on that, but I always thought that was fascinating.
Yeah. All right, so y'all have got Encino Man coming up, stream.
Yeah.
Brandon, do you have anything planned out? Brandon cranked out he was working his ass off. Do you remember Texas Chainsaw Massacre Day for Brandon?
I gotta say, I haven't talked to him. I think I messaged him about it, but man, like it was very impressive. And you put a shit ton of work into that. I was like, dude, he had something not even like half hour by half hour, right?
Yeah, it's pretty intense. I'm not going to be doing that again anytime soon. I appreciate the kind words. I appreciate
Mel, have you ever checked out Brandon's channel, Tabado Vision? Have you heard of him?
I haven't. I've never heard of it. Nice to meet you, though, sir.
Yeah, Brandon's great. I found Brandon's channel. He was remastering some songs, and I found his channel. I started watching his videos, and then I reached out to him, and I brought him on my channel one day, and me and Brandon became good friends from all that. But like, his shit's so good. Like, Brandon is like, he does this kind of stuff for a living, video editing and stuff. His shit is so good. And the entire day when Texas Chainsaw, the first movie, came out, the entire day on his channel was nothing but videos going through every movie and stuff. And his stuff is so well edited. It's amazing. You got it. Brandon's channel is like, is so good. His shit is so good. And his thumbnails are just fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I bring him on my channel to do a show or a stream, I put him to work. I have him make me a thumbnail because his stuff looks so good. He's a man.
Dude, that's funny that you say that about the thumbnail, because the other day Mel and I and Justin are also doing a Lost Boys vs. Fright Night show coming up in October. And I almost messaged him and been like, bro, can you make me a thumbnail similar to like the ones you do? But I didn't. I ended up doing my own, but I trust me, I was thinking about it. I was like, I wonder if he would do it if I messaged him, because I do. I love your thumbs and how you get the characters to look and the fonts and all that stuff. So you great job. And you know what else I loved is when on Texas Chainsaw Massacre Day is I was at work and I was like cleaning, like listening to stuff, and your rundowns on like all the movies were just done so thorough. But like I felt like I was watching those movies, like the remake and and all that stuff. And you like summarized the whole thing from beginning to end in like what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Was it
Yeah.
15 minutes? But I was like, he hit like every major point. I feel like I just watched the damn thing.
Yeah.
So
His stuff
it was
is
great.
good.
Appreciate it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't
Well-
follow any of this up, by the way. Just
No, just sit there and soak it in.
Talk
Yeah,
about
soak it
Sit
in.
there and
yourself.
just
get it in. So
take it in. Take it in. But Brandon, do you what I was meant to ask you real quick was what do you have coming up on Tabata Vision?
I don't know. Nothing right now. Actually, I need to get to work. I guess it's been kind of a breather since Leatherface Day. I got some short videos coming up next week, but nothing major. Not until October. I'll be doing the whole Halloween series and covering like Halloween specials, like some Treehouse of Horror stuff, Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, all that kind of stuff. So it'll be an interesting October.
Got any more remasters coming?
I think I'm maxed out. I can't really think of anything else, man.
Oh
You gotta
no, you're not. No, you're
put
not.
suggestions my way for sure.
I put Garrett. I put him to work. I was like,
Dude,
you got. I said you got to do Power of the Night from Critters. Got to get that remastered. You got to do Friday the 13th 6. You got to get I'm No Animal remastered. Dude, he was just cranking them out. He did Alone in the Night, Return of the Living Dead 2, Leatherwolf. I love that song.
How about
You know?
you gotta do Brave New Love or whatever from Blob? That's a killer track too. Is that what it's called? Brave New Love or Brave New World or something? It's the closing credits of the Blob remake. It's killer.
Hey, you got to remaster that song from Night of the Creeps. That Let Go, bam, bam, ba da da da. You know that song, Brandon?
Write these
That
down right
plays?
now for
Yeah.
sure. Go the Creeps. We didn't cover the Blob at all either. That's kind of surprising.
That's a good one.
88.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Blob is great. Sean E. Smith is in that. Yeah. So, all right, I guess we can end it. I don't
Hey,
know what I'm
guys,
gonna do. What am I gonna do now, man? I gotta go. I'm
Everybody in
not
the
tired.
chat, thank you guys for hanging. They're still chatting over there, and you're throwing up some good stuff that we missed, like Space Invaders is another good one. I mean, there's a lot going on in here, so definitely. And I saw JK. I saw what you said about son-in-law 3. Son-in-law. I knew that too, but yeah, I got to do some research and find out how those are all connected in there. But I appreciate that.
Well, again, thank you guys for coming on. I'm trying to spread my wings a little bit and stream. You see the thing about streaming, just really quick, I get anxiety. Like I don't feel like I'm a good host, and I like to have people on because, like, I don't know, it's like I feel like I'm gonna run out of things to say, and nobody's gonna watch. So I like to bring you guys on, so at least I could talk to y'all if nobody's here. But I don't know. I gotta try to do it every now and again. You know, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna burn myself out and I won't stream for 3 months after tonight. But I gotta, you know, I mean, do you guys not get anxiety, Mel? Do you get nervous when you stream? You don't get like,
no,
oh,
I have all your same fears. That's why I don't stream on my channel.
you know, it's like it's like I mean, Garrett, you get it's nerve wracking. You don't get
Oh no,
nervous?
he's cool as a cucumber over there.
I don't get nervous at all, actually. I'm actually less nervous streaming than I am when I have to film a video and then edit
Oh, I
it.
can film, brother. I can film.
Mhm.
'Cause
I get
it's-
more nervous on that, but I will say, dude, I think you're an excellent host. To be honest, I don't know why you feel
Yeah,
that
I
way.
agree
I think
with
that you
that.
do a really good job. So,
I
I'm
get
surprised
nervous.
that you do. I think you're bullshitting me. I don't think you get nervous.
I'm not like I get even with my
Even the way you
band.
say it, even the way you say it, you're like, I'm getting nervous.
No,
like,
like I'm
that's not real,
serious.
Chris.
No, I swear to God, like I'm dead ass. Like, dude, with my band, I get nervous as shit every time we're getting ready to play. You know, but I get the butterflies. So that's why I've been making Brandon come on with me.
Well, you're doing a good job. I
Yeah,
agree
you're
with
doing good.
BTBR on that one.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we can end it. Thank you guys for watching. You've been
Hey,
great.
thank
If
you,
you're
everybody.
if you're listening back on this, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for everybody that called. We got the Red Pack with Encino Man coming up. Make sure you're ready for that. Damn, y'all threw
Look
up
at
the horns
that.
at the same
Fucking
time.
in sync, dude. We don't mess around. This is a professional gig we got here. We have band practice and all this other jazz.
They have the same color palette going on down there.
Yeah, we
Same color
we don't
palette.
mess around.
You got the Invisibles up here.
What are you trying to say? You and Nick, we don't have like, dude, we have business meetings. You don't have any of that?
Me and Nick's business meetings are me texting him stupid shit. Him texting me stupid shit, and then hey, when are we gonna record? And then that's our business meetings. We're not a high quality product like the Red Pack. Where's Justin? I should have messaged Justin.
I know I think he works on the weekend, so I think he must be sleeping because I haven't heard from him at all tonight. So I don't know, but we're taking over some streams here, so this will be a mini part 1.
Okay,
we're working at it.
No, but seriously though, like last
Yep.
thing, John Kyle was trying. I told him we stopped calls, but he would be upset at me if I didn't ask this. He's asking favorite 80s werewolf film from everybody. Let's end it right there. Favorite 80s
Howling.
werewolf film, The Howling for
Howling,
me too. If Mel's gonna say, it's good, but it's American Werewolf in London, that's what she's gonna say.
I mean, that is a good one. Can I go with that one?
Wait, could I flip and say Teen Wolf? Because I'll flip
Teen
that.
Wolf, dude. I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
I'll flip it to Teen Wolf.
Dude, how
Just
good is the soundtrack from Teen Wolf?
God, it's
that
freaking
song
funny.
where he starts dancing, and he's like, you know what I'm talking about, like that?
Yeah, bow, 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 bow.
Yeah, your buddies did a rock metal cover.
Yeah, my
of it.
brother is my brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
go
Mel.
with Silver Bullet. I think.
Oh, here we go. Here we
That's
go with you
two.
Stephen King bullshit.
No, you can't be talking about
Corey
Busey.
Haim bullshit.
Nah, Corey Haim though.
No, I love Silver. I really love Silver Bullet. Now, Brandon, I'm thinking you.
He's a Wolfen guy, I think.
Well, dude, I like Wolfen a lot.
I do too. Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Bad
No,
Moon's
for me,
a good one too.
it is.
Here we
For
go,
me,
Brandon.
it's a tie between American Werewolf and Silver Bullet.
A tie?
Yeah, well, like one day I'll choose American Werewolf. The next day I'll choose Silver Bullet. There's some freaky ass stuff in both movies. Like the Nazi werewolf scene in American Werewolf is really freaky to this day, and that scene in Silver Bullet where the people in the church it's like the nightmare sequence and they're turning into werewolves. That's a freaky fucking scene.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with me is you can't. I'm not saying this was American Werewolf, but like the end all be all for me is not the craziness of the transformation scene or the werewolf looks themselves. Because if you look at the werewolf from Silver Bullet and American Werewolf, it's like one of them is name brand and the other one's great value by comparison. But that doesn't mean that Silver Bullet is lesser than, because Silver Bullet is so creepy and it's great. I love Silver Bullet. I'd almost take I love American. Like the thing is, American Werewolf is so fucking funny. That movie has it all. It's all that and a bag of chips. But The Howling is a horror film. The Howling is I'm a Joe Dante guy. I always will be a Joe Dante guy. I wish we were talking 90s so I could talk about Matinee. Have y'all seen Matinee?
Oh, yeah.
That movie's so good. Everybody's saying Silver Bullet in the chat and American Werewolf in London. Full Moon High, Larry Cohen. You know I love Full Moon High. So, all right, for real. Okay, we're going way over 2 hours. What do you got, Garrett? Matinee. Oh my God, I love that movie so much. That's my favorite John Goodman movie. All right, thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate it. This has been Planet CHH Live, Best of the 80s, Part 1 of 87. So the rest of the year's planned out. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Garrett. Thank you, Brandon,
You're welcome.
for coming on. And Nick, thank you for hopping on for a minute, Nick. Y'all be good. Love y'all. Good night.
Thanks, guys.